Hello everybody and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon, and I'm back today with yet another episode of Warhammer Beneath Dark Boughs. We are so far under these boughs, we can barely see them, my friends, so you better get ready for it. We have everyone back with us today that we like, so let's go around the cast and crew, let's figure out who we are and who we're playing. We have Jim Davis in the DM seat. Jim, how's it going, my friend?
Doing pretty good. I am excited to be here. Fresh and ready to see what's behind this water spout and potentially what else is back there. I don't know. I mean, I do know, but you know, I'm playing it up for the audience. I'm doing great.
Wait, Jim, you don't know what's going on?
Yeah, it's all an act. Don't look behind the curtain.
Absolutely. Well, we also have Mr. Pruitt back with us tonight. Pruitt, how's it going, my friend?
Well, it's not going great now, apparently, because the DM has no notes. So you look behind under the DM skirts. I'm sad. But no, I'm doing great. I can't wait to get back into this. I can't wait to get back into the skin of Eamon, wizard extraordinaire. It's so much fun playing a complete badass who's on a nice edge between pure power and absolute chaos and horror. So let's get to it.
Amazing. You heard it here first, folks. Jonathan Pruitt has looked up the Dungeon Master's kilt of Jim Davis and been disappointed. But we also have with us Charlie tonight. Charlie, how's it going?
It's going good. I am so excited for Warhammer Wednesday after Warhammer Monday. Yeah, I keep forgetting that I'm playing Astrid. I keep going, oh yeah, that's right, I'm playing Astrid now. I am looking forward to see how this is going to play out, because we're in this rundown now. There's only, 2 episodes left after this one?
I think so.
What does the Chaos Chorus have in store for us?
Not good things, probably, is the answer. But Jim doesn't have a clue, so we'll have to find out. We've also got, last but not least, Alice with us tonight. Alice, how's it going?
Hello, I'm all good, thanks. Again, I know I say it every week, but I genuinely look forward to this every week. I'm enjoying the chaos, and I'm playing Brienne, and I just want to see where this goes, because to be honest, anything could happen.
Absolutely. As for myself, I'll be playing Matthias Hurst, all-round chill guy, great friend, even better dad, and he's just here to make sure everyone has a really good time and to just look after everyone's feelings first and foremost. So that's really my priority tonight. In other news, I'm playing a murdering maniac named Matthias Hurst, or burning you to the ground. We're also, of course, here today sponsored by FantasyGrounds.com, our virtual tabletop of choice, which we're using the free Warhammer community pack to play that with. We've also been playing Call of Cthulhu and D&D, a bunch of other games, all on Fantasy Grounds. Check out the demo license for free, or their first licenses start at just $4. Also, WellingGames.co.uk is a go-to destination for all of your miniature board game and tabletop needs. If you haven't checked them out yet, they sell all of their products at up to 20% off the retail value of them, so you can get really good deals on your D&D books, your Warhammer minis, whatever it is you're out for. And of course, you guys can interact with today's show. If you haven't followed the show yet, hit the follow button and join us. Also, here is the tweet for you guys. At 20 retweets, we'll have another viewer decision. And of course, you can donate to affect the game as well by giving players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and worse. But I will hand over to Mr. Jim Davis to remind us what happened last week on the show. Go ahead, Jim.
Last week, our party was venturing through the forest, guided by Eamon and his familiar. They came across a fog-enshrouded stream, and the sort of walking in a wandering daze Zalgeg, the Dwarven Slayer. They followed Zalgeg and the stream towards the Beastman camp, where initially the party thought there might be a large force lurking in ambush in the camp, and instead found it to be inhabited by all manner of little mutants and ungors and you know, just the kind of non-combatants and the weak members of the Beastman herd. And they attacked it, set fire to it, and are now standing underneath the cliff face. An unnatural water spout that seems to rise up in a sheet before them, spraying water up the cliff some 100 or so feet from where they stand. And I do believe that the last thing that you had seen was a handful of mutants sneaking their way up the path that kind of runs along the cliff face and behind that water curtain. That's where we left.
Ah, yes indeed. We must press forwards into the cave. Find what manner of heresy is inside and burn it.
I do agree, but caves are no place for birds. And Bran, and like motions, and Bran flies up to him, and he
A resplendent
kind of
offering.
looks, Jesus Christ.
Great.
Anyway, much more composed.
Here we go.
Eamon, he kind of just stares at Bran back and forth for a second as Bran kind of makes some noises and whatever, and then he just kind of fly away. And Bran is going to fly back north a few miles with explicit instructions to, if he sees anybody around him, he flies for an hour until he sees no one, and to just be nearby but away from all of this madness.
All right. Bran flies away, and something happens to Matthias.
Oh man. Okay, my first one is that whenever I cast a spell, I hear glass breaking everywhere.
Okay.
Each of my big toes are now as long as the rest of my foot. Cool.
All right.
Okay, tomorrow I unknowingly snub a powerful caster. Tomorrow I unknowingly snub a powerful spellcaster.
Okay. All right.
Sure, just being who I am, that makes sense.
Sure.
My next one is that my blood radiates intense magic. Of course it does.
Did you taste test that water? Is that what happened?
A little bit of explaining to do. And 8693 from Matthias is all within 50 yards. Covet the possessions of one person nearby.
All within 50 yards. Covet the possession of one person nearby. Yeah. You got an idea?
I got an idea for 3 of
Whatstone?
Matthias's wild magic surges. Maybe Eamon senses the magic flowing through Matthias's blood and is pissed off by it and covets it. I've had to do all this work and he's just walking around with it.
Right, you would just like sense the magic in the water and in the area around here, and Matthias strangely now seems to radiate all sorts of coruscating, pixelating, just like scintillating colors of magic. Is what Eamon detects there.
All the colors.
I wonder if this is like awoken because he's in proximity to this magical twin brother he has, who has a lot of magic.
Stop giving him ideas.
It could be anything.
I mean, it could be anything. He could have just, tripped in a puddle. Who knows?
It's true.
Sure.
He could have tripped in a
Sacrifice
puddle.
at the well of the blessed water.
So this big toe situation is seems I think at the very least it's going to slow you down with these boots that you're wearing.
Oh yeah. You know what I say about big toes? Yeah.
Yes.
Big
You get
shoes.
an extra long space for them in your boot.
That's what they say.
Clown boots.
Yeah, you need some clown boots. You need like those medieval curly-toed sort of shoes.
Yeah,
that just
the ones that
curl
go
up. Yeah, sure.
If this was anyone else
Blubber.
and they came to Matthias and said this, he'd be like, cut it off. It's the only way
Yeah.
to stop the chaos.
Yeah,
You've got to cut it off.
Yeah, I probably will get to that at a less pressing moment.
Right.
Like, like in a similar scene to like me shaving Yidris's nubs, I'm gonna start shaving my toes, just like junior hack soaring through them.
Perhaps with less danger afoot.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Sorry, my bad.
That's all right.
Oh, that was
That's
gross.
just fine. That's just fine. How about Astrid and Brienne? You're standing at the bottom of this this pathway leading up a cliff. There's a curtain of water launching itself up the cliff face. cliff face, and that's where you're at.
I think Astrid would kind of take stock of our situation, just kind of a glance at everyone and be like, well then, I guess I will scout ahead with Brienne. You two seem to do a very good job at the rear of the party.
Brienne sort of smirks and just nods. She's like, right behind you.
Yes.
And
I will stay
I
here with
think-
Zalgid in case there is fighting that needs to be done.
oh yes, how is our friend?
Is he like still super zony? Like just coming down from his trip?
Yeah, he's sort of coming down from it. He's tended to his wound just enough that he's can wield his makeshift glaive. But
I imagine that Zalgid looks like day 3 of a festival. Like he's just this crazy mohawk, just like wounds all over him somehow, like zoning out from all the drugs he's taken.
yeah.
It's just such a glitter like baked into his face.
Just hanging in there. So that's where
Strange cast
that's
of dry shampoo.
Yeah.
So Astrid and Brienne are going to try to sneak up. Zalgid will give you the opportunity to do that. He's not just going to.
Astrid is going to actually strip off a small amount of her plate armor to try and be less clanky.
Okay.
On the way in.
All right. So you're going to take off enough so that it's medium armor instead of heavy.
Yeah, just stack it by a tree or something, or by one of these huts, just out of the way.
Sure thing.
And before we proceed, these that lead these beastmen, should we come in contact with them, of course we would try to defeat them, but if defeat is not for us today and we must retreat, I would ask if you could at least get us a sample of their blood or hair, a piece of them. I believe that I can work some magics to help us out in the future.
Does your magic on our weapons still work?
Yes. Depends.
Well, that's like an hour, right?
Lasts for an hour, so I mean it hasn't been that long since.
No, it's been like minutes since they've been enchanted.
Yeah, like 10. It's only been like 10 minutes. It will persist for a time more. Yes, but we should make haste.
Right, and then Astrid will lead the way up.
All right, go ahead and give me silent move rolls from the two of you.
Sure.
There's not really any cover.
Can someone confirm for me just what medium armor gives you in terms of armor?
3 armor points. Yeah,
It's
3
three?
armor points.
3. Okay. I don't have silent move currently. Is that a standard skill?
No,
Yeah,
it's oh,
Is it not? I thought it was an advanced.
It should be a basic, so you can roll at half agility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it is. Just right down the bottom. I had to scroll.
Oh, there we go. So,
I was
I
thinking
see.
of follow trail or shadowing. Yeah.
that's 3 degrees of failure for Astrid. She is still clanky.
I have standard success on that one.
Okay. Yeah, Brienne's good. I think last time Astrid was used all your crits for the stuff there.
Yeah,
All right.
I was making sure last time.
Luckily, the roar of the water as you get up the path and sort of by the curtain, there's a sound of just like water rushing by and sort of as if it were a waterfall in the opposite direction. So your movements are less pronounced. Your clanks and slips are less pronounced than you otherwise think they'd be, because by the time you get behind the curtain, you really can't hear anything other than the roar of the water. That's you're about halfway up at this point. You haven't seen anyone else. How about are you continuing on the way or stopping here?
I think continuing. we're in motion, so.
All right.
Haven't seen anything yet, so just keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think bow in hand, the idea being if we do see something, we can silently shoot it rather than noisily shoot it.
Okay. All right. As you creep up, you reach a small cleft-like opening in the cliff face, and it's sort of like there's an overhang that the water sort of sprays off of and into this cliff face here. But it's a triangular-shaped cave with a small pool in the middle of it, and you can see the signs of firelight as you approach this sort of triangular cave. Really, at this point, it's a cave opening. You haven't really seen much of what's inside of it. You can tell that there's a fire and that the water is spraying into it.
And the fire doesn't seem to be doused in any way by the fact there's water going into it.
You're seeing more like the reflection of the fire on the far cave wall rather than the fire itself.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you're kind of like, you're kind of like approaching the cave entrance from the side. You can sort of tell there's firelight there, but you haven't actually like seen into the cave yet, unless you want to get that close.
Astrid turns and looks to Brienne for her opinion on going forward or not.
Well,
Just kind of looking for that nod or a shake, really.
she sort of nods in gesture to go on, because she sort of is, well, we found something, but not one of them. We can't go back and just say we found a fire.
I agree. And push on.
As you
Is there
press onwards,
a way of really pushing into like the wall of the cave to kind of lean into the shadow, or is it pretty exposed?
yeah. You can at this point give me concealment rolls to try to like keep yourself out of sight as you sneak up to this cave entrance. The shadows here give you a plus 20 for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Even with plus 20. No.
All right. There is cave that you sneak up to, and I'm assuming Brienne's first. You sort of like had, the first up there. You can see that there are several hunched figures over a fire at the far end of the cave, and that the spray of the water is creating sort of a shallow pool here. The cave itself is long and slender, very narrow, but it looks like it sort of turns into a tunnel at the far end of it. Brienne, you count maybe a dozen or more figures, at least 5 of them large, hulking beastmen armed, that are kind of wandering around this cave aimlessly. One of them is looking in your direction, but does not seem like it's seen Brienne, but is definitely interested in what's going on at the mouth of the cave where you are at.
Okay, Brienne will freeze first of all if this creature is looking directly at her or in her direction, and probably wait until his gaze sort of averts before retreating back towards Astrid.
Mm-hmm.
She sort of holds her breath for a second, just checking if she hasn't been seen or not.
The Beastman isn't like, sounding an alarm or pointing and shouting at you, but it does is curious about the mouth of the cave, and it looks like it is getting up and going to investigate. You have a few moments to react.
Okay. I think Brienne will keep as low as possible, and she just try back up as silently as possible.
And how about Astrid?
I think seeing
Brienne
the rigidity, I think seeing that rigid freeze, I'm gonna accept that she's seen something and kind of just hold my position and wait for her to get back to me so that we can both move together back out.
If Brienne's sort of really crouched low, she'll have her hand behind her and just sort of making a halt signal to Astrid before backing up.
All right. You can hear its hoofbeats, its hoof steps on the slick stone as it approaches the cave entrance where you're at. Brienne, you'd estimate it's mere feet from you and seems to be sniffing or snorting or something. It has yet to exit the cave, so you're sort of like, it's kind of behind you, but you can still sort of feel its presence very close.
Astrid will hold her position and encourage Brienne to go out, because Brienne can move much quieter and much quicker than Astrid can.
Okay.
But, sorry, what did you want to do, Alice?
I was going to say, Brienne will keep moving, but she will, because she's already got her bow in hand, she's slowly trying to load an arrow, just in case, more sort of shuffling back, not taking her eyes off where this beastman's coming from, but working her way backwards.
Okay. I think if Astrid can catch Brienne's eye, she's just going to wave to just get her to move back, and she'll hold the cover with her own bow.
Okay. There's a moment where it steps out from the cave and is on the sort of path landing that you're on, and it looks down the path where you're at, but doesn't seem to see you or notice anything. It stays there for a couple of seconds before slowly walking back into the cave.
Brienne waits for a second, probably breathing quite heavily. As soon as it disappears back into the cave, she will back up quickly to Astrid.
Okay.
We should fetch the others.
Is it?
It seems we have an ambush.
We need to leave quickly. I do think it's best that we tell everyone what we have seen, and now. I think we've seen enough. And Brienne will turn to head straight off.
Astrid is just going to hold her little hidey hole, because if she moves, she's going to clank. She's noticed this and she's moved in.
Okay, Brienne will nod to Astrid before rushing back out, hopefully as silently as she came.
Okay. Give me another silent move. The water in this case gives you a plus 30, as it is quite loud.
Okay. 27.
Okay, so after a couple of minutes, Brienne comes moving kind of quickly out from behind the curtain and down the cliff path.
She runs straight over to Matthias and Eamon. She's like, little bit of a problem.
Yes.
Possible ambush. There's at least a dozen or more beastmen in there, and there are around 5 rather heavily armed ones. And Astrid is still in there, so she's sort of in a nervous sort of keeps chatting sort of way.
Cool. Real quickly, Wild Magic Surgeon, a Warpstone was that elemental summoned in Eamon's presence are completely silent, and Eamon's Wild Magic is that an enormous black disc hovers over the area for 1d4 hours. So for the next 2 hours, there is an enormous black disc which hovers over this area.
Like blotting out the sun?
Yeah, so like some sort of shroud of shadow magic. Irish, forget the name of it off the top of my head, but yeah, some sort of coalescing of the gray wind of magic over the area as the gloaming reaches its ascendancy and casts its shadow over the group. It is dark, even darker behind the water curtain as Brienne emerges from it.
As she explains this to me, I see. We should go and find her. Perhaps Ambushes will become the ambushed. Show us.
This way. And she just puts a finger to her lips and disappears back into the darkness, past the water.
Okay. Brienne slips back up the path. Let's have some more silent move rolls from everyone moving up. Although if Eamon is flying, are you still flying, Eamon?
I was going to say, but right before we go in, Eamon was going to recast that.
Go ahead and give me that. But you had a plus 30 on that silent move because of the water.
Oh, okay. That's a success.
And mine.
Sweet.
Brienne's sort of like whispering to them, just like, step where I step. And she just keeps going.
I know.
Right.
There you go.
Is this your,
and yeah, I pass with the water on my silent
That's
move.
that. All right,
Let me go ahead
and you got a
roll mine.
caster roll. So I have a viewer decision for you folks. I don't know. I haven't been keeping an eye on chat if it's been posted yet, but yeah, has it been posted yet?
No, yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure this out, guys. I want a viewer decision of the most sort of messed up mutant that you guys can think of. What sort of wretched creature will the party come across as they enter into these chaos caves? That's kind of that's sort of what I'm wanting to know.
What kind of creatures do they encounter?
Mutant, not demon spawn.
Okay.
Mutant.
Okay.
All right, so Jim, I got a double on my first roll. and
Not like a demon prince. I can see the sweat on everyone's brow. Just give me an enemy, chat.
It's anything, really.
Pick through the fantasy
It'll
battle.
be like the moon. Fuck.
Right.
I'm just wondering what sort of cheese they're going to throw into the mix. That's
Yeah.
that's my question.
Nice.
I nominated Cable as the most messed up mutant to throw at us.
Nice. So what did Eamon get for your magical?
Okay, so the last die is always my warpstone die. So I re-rolled the first one because I got a double using my mind of reason. And with the second roll, did not get any of Zinchia's curses, and I am once again borne by the winds of magic aloft.
Nice.
Just kind of floats a couple of inches off the ground, just kind of moving forward quietly.
Okay. Very good. Eamon floats along. Everyone else sneaks their way up. I would like to know how Matthias is covering himself, as there is a fine mist of water as the path leads behind the curtain.
I got my wide-brimmed hat, which in every piece of Warhammer lore is described as incredibly wide-brimmed. So it's the widest brim that you have ever seen, and it just kind of like covers my. I mean, I'm getting wet elsewhere, but like my eyes are covered, and I will have like drawn my pistol. Oh dear! I draw my pistol. I'm gonna try and keep that underneath like some cover, so that the powder itself doesn't get too wet. So I keep it under my brim. I keep it like this, like the brim's over, and I scoot along like so.
All right.
Has to tilt his hat to walk through a doorway.
Yeah. It was like Empire Hunter D hat. All right. Excellent. Empire Hunter M. All right. So Matthias keeps the water off of his skin so that he does not dissolve. Eamon is flying through the air. Now, Astrid, you stayed where you were. You kind of give me a perception test real quick, and we'll see what happens while you're waiting on the party to get back.
Okay. Fails.
Yeah, the water here is quite loud. You're not sure where the Beast Man is in relation to when the last time you saw him, whether it's right around the corner or back further in that cave. But the rest of the party joins Astrid, and so y'all are like in a stack along the cave wall. The path here is rather narrow. It's really only one person can walk up it at a time. There's the curtain of water rising up, and just ahead of you, a few feet, is a break in the cliff face, triangular in shape, that looks like it leads into some sort of cavern or something, and you can see firelight bouncing off the walls of that cave.
Is Astrid within like whispering distance, like stage whispering distance?
I assume so. Yeah. Yeah. She's
Yep.
You're kind of close. Yeah, Astrid.
Astrid, what did you see? Brienne says that there are an ambush of them waiting for us.
Yes, it appears there is a camp inside. I believe that we could ambush them ourselves, given the confined nature, but it's hard to know how the cavern extends beyond what we can see.
Well, we're not exactly going to be able to all move past them, so perhaps ambushing is the best course of action.
If you can't go over it, you have to go through it.
Hmm.
And then she glances at Eamon, who's floating off the ground.
There are other schools of thought, though.
If we can find a route around them, then that could be well, but it does not sit well with me that we would allow these creatures to survive.
Besides,
Brienne,
they will be behind us.
Brienne, you're good with the bow. Perhaps you could take some out from afar, and then we send in Zalgeg again.
Brienne just smiles and sort of knocks a bow, an arrow rather, and she tried just sort of sneak to the edge again to see if she can get a clear shot.
Yeah, you can. I mean,
Any of the big ones.
Sure thing. Give me a concealment roll instead of silent or silent.
Brienne, before you depart, which beastman are you going to fight or shoot at first? I could possibly silence him so that his injury or death does not draw the attention of others.
She, I don't know if Eamon can see, but from where she's looking at the largest one closest to the trail they would have to walk down.
That's
and
the
she
one.
just sort of gestures to look, and she points.
Okay.
And so if you're sneaking up there, up close, I need a concealment.
Got 22.
So
Eamon,
Brienne's good. Eamon.
yeah, perhaps Eamon could go with Brienne. This is Matthias
I mean-
and Zalgeg can follow up.
Okay.
Yeah, Eamon's. I'm gonna use a nat 20 to sneak up, following in Brienne's footsteps.
Okay. The two of you, as you sneak up. What's that?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So the two of you, as you sneak up, Brienne, of course, getting there rather easily. Eamon sort of floating behind her. You can see the closest beastman is back, is towards you, walking back towards this rather long, narrow cave. At the far end is a rather large fire, just casting these flickering shadows along the wall. There is a pool that runs the length of the cave, and at the far end, it looks like there's a tunnel that leads further into the cliff face. There are about 5 large beastmen. Most of them are clustered around the fire at the far end, except for the one that's walking towards it. But there are other figures in the shadows here. They look like maybe Ungor or mutants of some kind. And that's what the two of you can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brienne will draw her bow and look to Eamon
And
as she ties up the beastman.
Okay. And as she does that, Eamon will pull the magic within himself. Yes, he does, as he channels properly. And let loose the spell. So that's going to be, yep, definitely got it. No Zeechus curses. So he needs to make a willpower test.
A willpower test.
Yep.
That's a degree of success.
Okay, well, I don't know if Eamon knows whether or not his spells take hold. I would assume he maybe does.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And you just kind of hear Eamon curse. Stronger will than I thought one such as him would have. It may take the shot or I can try again.
I'm sure I can make the shot.
Okay.
And so 50.
50. 50's a hit. That's a 5, so that's a headshot. Go ahead and roll me some damage. 10. All right.
10.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Do you have anything like strike 2, or you have mighty shot? Yes.
Yes, I have mighty shot.
Okay, that's already good. All right. Brienne's arrow streaks out and hits the beast man sort of at the base of its neck. And it's got an arrow sticking out. It stumbles forward a bit, but does not look like it is down. Give me just a second. Let me see if anyone notices that. And let's see. It does not appear as anyone has noticed yet. We're in. You might as well be in combat here, so let's go ahead and roll initiative. Because we're
Okay.
yeah. All right. So it's D10 plus your agility bonus.
And Warbit has given 2 Minotaurs find the party in the caves. Yay!
All right.
That's exactly what we needed. Also, the viewer decision I put in the VMix chat for you, Jim, which is
I saw. It's
really fun.
Delicious. Yeah.
Super fun.
Super fun. All right.
Yep, that's my definition of fun. That is a 14 on the initiative for all the players.
Right. I got
That's the definition of fun, to be honest.
it. Right.
No, a swirling mass of arms and legs with the faces of Idris and Nora. That's like
All right. That sounds great.
That's a
Like
good
my-
Wednesday night.
like my Google search.
Right. What is Brienne's initiative?
It was 8, I think.
8.
Well,
That's
yeah,
with
that's
your
what you roll on
agility
the
bonus.
Yeah.
The what, sorry?
Just what's your agility bonus? What's the first digit of your agility score?
Oh, I see, sorry. Okay, 6.
6, so that's 14 total.
Hmm.
So it's going to be Brienne. Matthias actually. Matthias, what is your agility?
5, so I got a 14.
All right, so you'll go second. Astrid, that's right. And then myself, and then Eamon bringing up last. So Brienne, Matthias, Astrid, me, and then Eamon. And then we had a wild magic surge to take care of. Yes?
Yes, the Minotaur got a wild magic surge, and his allies suspect that he belongs to a divine lineage.
So, okay, all right. Okay, so
Makes sense. Beastman bros are like,
Divine
wow,
lineage.
he's totally
yeah.
so
Maybe
big.
he's like related to the witch mother of the forest. Who knows?
Wow.
Who knows? It means he will fight with all the more fanatical devotion in his presence. So here we go. Brienne, you have just shot your arrow. You see it hit the Minotaur, the beast man in the back. The beast man stumbles forward, has yet to really had a chance to react. Doesn't look like anyone else in the cave has seen. You have the drop on it.
So, she will just take another aim and try and get him down before anyone notices.
All right.
54. And 12.
Very close. 12. All right. There we go. Go ahead and roll me a critical.
Okay. Sorry, what was the roll for that again?
D1, D percentile.
Die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, slash die. All right. Your second arrow hits him in the shoulder and goes to the fletching. It's like goes through the back of the shoulder, out the front, and the creature was already kind of on its way down to the cave floor, but your second one sends it tumbling forward, rolls into the pool, and it, whether it's still alive or not, you're not sure, but it's not getting back up. You do anything else? That was just one attack.
Are there any more of the larger ones nearer the pathway where we would head down?
Yeah, there's 4 of them in your way. The pathway
Okay,
ends here, and this is the cave that it leads to.
Okay, she will just take aim and try and silently hit another one.
Okay.
25.
That's it. Right arm.
And that is a 6.
All right, 6. You hit one of them in the left arm. Your arrow skipping across its bicep, drawing blood and its attention. Nice. You've seen Ran fire off 3 arrows in quick succession.
All right. How many of them do I have line of sight on right now?
If you walk up and into the entrance of the cave, you'll have line of sight on 4 of the beast men and any number of mutants that are also in the cave here.
Okay, is the one that Brienne shot at dead yet? Or is he near death?
It looks like it's bleeding out into the pool. Not dead yet.
Alright. I'll shoot a different one.
Okay.
That's a miss. And second shot is... Oh, damn. I miss as well.
Wow.
Yep. Fire
Right.
post shots with the Hotland pistol, and they both just discharge into the room.
Okay. The sound as it echoes through the cave is quite loud as Matthias' pistol shots go off. Astrid, return.
Very much following that lead of pushing up into the cave. And yeah, I would have swapped from my bow to my freshly reloaded pistols, and I'm gonna fire as well at a big dude.
All right.
That's a hit.
That's it.
Yeah. And that's 14. One of those is armor piercing.
Mm-hmm. All right. And you're firing one of the ones on the far end then, or the one that's bleeding out in the pool?
Nah, just
Far
one
end.
of the ones.
Okay. In that case, let's see here. That was 14 damage. Armor piercing.
To
All right.
the leg, right leg.
Right leg. Okay. Just a second. Okay. You shoot it in the right leg, and it stumbles down to the ground. It's scrambling to get back up, but you can tell that you got a really good shot in on it. That's your one attack. Do anything else?
I technically have 2 attacks, and I have a thing that gives me a free ready action to quick draw. So could I quick draw another pistol and fire, or did
Yes.
my move count as like half action thing?
Well, if you moved, so you had a move and then a fire, so that's your round then.
That's it. Yeah.
But otherwise,
just
yes,
quick
you
draw.
can.
I'll just quick draw the other weapon because it's free action. Let's go around.
Gotcha. All right.
I'm ready to go.
My turn here. The one that Brienne shot is going to have to make a... it fails its toughness roll, and you can see it pass out in the pool as it struggles for a moment. The arrow sticking like right out of its chest, having entered through the shoulder blade, and see it pass out, not struggling anymore. The other 4 at the end, plus some of the mutants, have all reacted to Matthias's gunshot, and Astrid had her pistol as well, right? So it's like 3 gunshots. And let's see where we are at. The one that Astrid shot is going to have to get up and limp its way sort of over. It is not going to be able to get into melee, but 2 others are, and let's roll for them. Currently, it's Astrid and Matthias in the front, like in the opening of the
Yeah, we
tunnel.
moved that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here they go. They're going to charge, so that gives them a plus 20. That's still not enough for the one on Matthias. But it is enough for the one on Astrid.
Can I
So that's location
use
81.
dodge blow?
Sure. We have 3 degrees of success.
Damn.
I had 4 degrees of success.
All right. So you you dodge the Beastman's attack as it charges with you with this great big cleaver. Matthias, yours has a large axe that it's wielding.
Can I Matrix lean backwards as this cleaver just tries to take my head off?
It's like the slow-mo shot where all the glimpses of water spray bounce off the axe. So a creature at the far right, the after image. We're so fast. A creature on the far end, standing sort of behind the fire, shadowy at the moment, stands up, and you can see a set of horns that are sort of coming up, and then another that sort of curl over its ears. It's got all sorts of tokens and fetishes hanging off of it and tied into its fur. You can see it stand up and the fire blaze to life as Eamon senses the swirling of magic being cast. And just a second. Here we go, guys. It's going to cast a spell. And I got no Zeech's Curse, and I've got this. So, Matthias, this thing calls forth a spark from the flame, and it shoots over towards you. And as it hits you, you feel it enter into your body and start to burn you up from the inside. You're going to take, let's see. 4 damage, 4 hits. They are resisted by your toughness, but not your armor.
Okay, my toughness is 4.
Okay.
My toughness bonus is 4.
Okay. Your toughness bonus is 4, then it burns momentarily, but you take no damage from it.
Woo! Okay. Just about I took that increase.
As this Bray Shaman sort of commands the flames to leap out and attack you. That is the end of my turn. It is Eamon's.
Yes, so Eamon, this whole time, after casting that spell and it not working, has just been muttering, no, no, no. And as Matthias shoots, no. And this flame sparks out and hits him, and he sees that there's this other caster, and he just screams, no! And slams his staff down on the ground. And I'm using a fortune point to get an extra half action for a channeling roll.
Okay.
Which there's that. And that's a pass. So now I have my full plus 10, including the warp stone. And
Nice.
I'm, as I begin muttering the words to this spell, kind of the mist off the pool begins to rise up into the air and kind of cloud up, and you hear a distant rumble of thunder. And Eamon calls out the words of power and lets loose a lightning storm. And I'm gonna let that ride.
All right.
Because
so that's a minor.
passed.
You actually
So that's a
passed.
minor?
That's a minor curse that goes off. Give me a D100.
66. That can't be good.
That's less than good.
Mental block. You channel too much winds of magic, and your magic characteristic is reduced by 1 for D10 minutes. You have 1 less magic die to roll, available to roll for D10 minutes.
I just learned a valuable lesson.
There you go. But your spell goes off.
Okay.
That was what, lightning storm?
Yeah, lightning storm. So that is everyone in a 30, basically a 10-yard diameter, so 30-foot diameter, And I'm going to make sure I get the Minotaur at the back, or the shaman that just stood up, but as many of the others as possible.
Right. Okay.
But they all take.
Go ahead.
They all take D10 plus 5 lightning. Oh! I almost rolled over to a 10. Anyway, so they all take 13 lightning as just lightning begins to rain down and crisscross in this cavern.
So like streaking through the water curtain and the light from the sky. Yeah. All right. So 2 of them were in melee with the party. The other 2 are sort of making their way behind them. So it's going to hit the shaman, those 2, and then some of the mutants. So that is, let's see. Gosh, the guy that was getting up that Yidris shot is smoked, and his smoldering corpse falls into the pool as well. So that's 1 down. 2 others, they take 13.
Yep.
All right.
Damn.
And then for the Bray Shaman here, that's... all right, there we go.
But then
2 of them
felt like a cough, like... Smoke comes out of his ears.
Too much magic. The Bray Shaman is smoldering as a lightning bolt strikes him, but is protected by the foul powers of chaos. The other 2 beastmen who are not in melee with the party take full force of the attack and are staggered backwards. Top of the initiative with Brienne.
Brienne will see Astrid, almost said Yidris, Astrid have to sort of duck and move out of the way from her being struck, so she will immediately turn and try and hit both of them. Not with an 87. She'll try again.
Also,
2.
Brienne's Wild Magic Surge is that tomorrow she meets someone who is 100% immune to magic.
Oh, you guys should get an ally. Right.
Yeah.
A 9.
A 9. All right. So 9 damage there. That Beastman was otherwise not injured. So, and that was location 32. So you hit it in its right arm with an arrow. It sort of like tries to snap it off so that it's not in the way as it fights. That was your first attack?
No, that was my set. I failed on the first one.
Gotcha. All right. Matthias.
I'm
Beastman
gonna...
right on top of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw out my sword and try and have a bit more success with that. It's a 24, which is a hit. And, oh man. 6 points of damage to the left arm.
All right.
Take 5 L, 2 nat 20s to Brienne. Yep.
Alright.
Second attack on this guy is a 28, which is to the right leg for... Oh man, 6 points of damage again. Nice, not my friend.
2 draw cuts across the Beastman, leaves him bleeding but still in fighting shape. All right, that was Matthias' attack. Astrid, there's a Beastman right on you.
Oh, you're muted, Charlie.
I don't think I can hear you.
Use my quick draw to like flick the pistols back in the holsters and just draw that greatsword. And then I'm gonna do some attacking with my greatsword.
All right, go for it.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, that was
Right
that
leg.
was the wrong thing. Hang on.
No.
That was the wrong
That was
thing.
18.
There we go. I still hit though. I still hit. So
There we go.
that's 18 damage.
All right.
And then
Oh,
my
that's
second
18.
swing.
All right.
And that's to 22, wherever that is. Right arm. And the second one's a miss.
Second one's a miss. Okay, so for 18 damage here, gosh, 14. All right, roll me a critical for that first attack.
Okie dokie.
And that was to the.
Sorry, I grabbed the wrong die.
right.
I'm very excited. That's a 63.
63. All right. So I almost called you. Astrid brings her great sword
Astrid!
down on the Beastman's right arm, hitting it right in the bicep. And sort of, right. You hit it right in the bicep, filleting its flesh off of its bone, and a huge hunk of it goes flying across the cave floor, and it has to make a test or drop its weapon. It drops its weapon as you shave off part of its arm, and so there we go. That's Astrid's turn. I can go. Let's see. Astrid, the Beastman on you. The Beastman on Astrid tackles you. And we're going to have to make opposed strength checks to try, as he's trying to use his superior weight and bulk to push you into the pool and drown you instead of have to take another swing.
Okay.
So we're going to make half.
Take it, I can't dodge blow this. Dodge the blow of the
Matrix
blade,
again.
Sidestep.
Let's see. Can you talk?
Look out!
Yeah, go ahead
I think
and.
it's only melee attacks, right?
It's usually only melee attacks, but he's trying to like grab you. I tell you what, you can use your agility or your strength to oppose this, whichever you prefer.
Well, if I can use dodge blow, I get a bonus to it. But if I'm just using fire agility, that's still better than toughness anyway. Anyway. No.
I got 4 degrees of success.
Why?
This Beastman that just got its arm taken out by Yitter sort of like falls on her and tries to just use its bulk to push her into the pool. Astrid and the Beastman go tumbling over into the pool, and that's all it can do right now. But that's what happened for them. And then on Matthias, attempts to attack you. Making it careful, it does not hit Matthias. Ray Shaman.
Get fucked.
Alright. Eamon. There we go. It targets the Bray Shaman, turns its eye toward Eamon, and you can feel a chill wind down your spine as it casts a powerful spell. That's Zeech's curse that it gets. But the spell is cast, and I need Eamon to make me a willpower test. Well, I figure out what happens here.
Ooh, 93. But luckily, I cast my second Portent of Amul, and I will use my first reroll there from that.
All right.
Oh, fuck.
Gosh. All right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Ooh, this is not good for the Beastman Shaman because I got a 98 on its Zeech's curse, which means I have to roll on a major table instead of the minor.
Oh no!
And
oh boy, this could be very bad.
Yeah.
Us.
Boys wanted to see this, but didn't want to be the recipient.
It casts this spell at Eamon, and just a minute, Eamon, because we'll see what happens to you. But it bursts into pink and blue flame as it screams in agony and starts running across the far end of the cavern. Now, for Eamon, you failed your willpower roll for my Touch of Chaos spell, which channels pure chaotic energy into one target, causing him to mutate and change on a failed willpower test. If the target fails, they gain 1 mutation, manifests in a matter of seconds, and is permanent. If you passed, you're just sort of stunned. So I need you to roll me a D1000.
All right. Whoa. This is what happens when you fuck with magic.
It's so
and then it's gonna be Eamon's turn.
D1000.
A D1000.
Oh, nice and high. Nice and high.
Hopefully that's good.
Very
Okay.
good mutation.
You have rolled tentacle fingers.
Anyone like a back rub?
Your fingers on both hands wither away, only to be replaced by horrible tentacles. You are not affected by most things, but anything that requires fine manipulation, you suffer a -10.
Does that include casting spells?
No.
I hate to ask out loud.
That would not include casting spells. I am done with my turn. It is Eamon's turn. I'll say round.
This is just like
Eamon screams in agony, curses, looks down at his Cthulhu hands.
For real, Will, stop.
Covers them up and makes sure
your
Matthias
fanfic.
doesn't see them.
With his big toes.
My big old toes touch your fingers and
Alright.
So the Bray Shaman, is he still alive?
He's still running around screaming. So,
Okay.
and it's a horrible sort of goat scream. Kind of.
But Astrid is right here being drowned by someone right now, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna, since she's like right in front of me with this, Eamon will reach forward with his new, I imagine a little bit longer than normal fingers.
and what?
Go ahead and do your roll.
Going to cast sleep on the the beast man that is fighting, that is drowning his friend.
All right.
So I'm basically going to just cast the spell and move up, cast it, and then move back.
All right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and re-roll that. I don't want to fuck with that anymore. So that's enough. That's enough to cast the spell.
All right.
I don't fuck with it.
So need a willpower test from that asshole, or he falls asleep.
I got 25 on my scale. He probably will. Yeah, he falls asleep. 5 degrees of failure.
Okay.
So this creature is now asleep on top of Yidris in the shallow pool. Or sorry, not Yidris. Astrid. Keep doing it for 2 rounds. All right.
And then he will move back. And let me get to rolling my 5 wild magic surges.
All right. Sounds good. Brienne, it is your turn. There is one Matthias, two who got struck by lightning earlier, an on-fire shaman at the far end. It's calamity.
Chaos. The one that's attacking Matthias, I think she will straight away go for him. 13. And hit with a 12.
Okay.
And
that was okay.
I'll say if that doesn't kill it, she will keep firing.
It sort of staggers back, not quite finished off. Severely wounded. The second one just barely misses it there.
Okay.
All right. That's Brienne's turn. This is Matthias. Matthias, your turn.
I had a heart attack. It's clothes.
Clothes.
I'll read out Eamon's wild magic here, as we're looking at them in the group chat. So, Eamon feels powerless unless everyone knows that he's a magic user. It's like vegans. After each spell, Eamon's clothes age 1d100 years. 1d100 years each time you cast a spell. Your clothes.
Dress in high quality silk, though.
I do.
So
that was part of my introduction.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not being ideally preserved though in the damp cave environment.
Very good point. Very good point.
And let's see. His next one is that a small fountain wells up in Eamon's home. Useful. Nice decoration. Mm-hmm. Probably in a awkward position. And Eamon is suddenly standing in a bucket of butter.
Okay.
It's like the cheese all over again.
What is it with dairy products?
So much dairy.
Eamon's presence causes birds to fall silent.
That's kind of cool.
That is
Finally,
kind of
cool.
shut my
That's
fucking,
kind of cool.
shut my fucking
Those
familiar
shatter.
up.
Right.
I was gonna say.
Shattering birds.
Put the fuck
Those
up, Brad.
Hey, Brad, shut up.
Holy, nearly sunk $1,000's worth of XP into you. All right.
All right, I'm
Do what I
gonna.
say.
All right.
So it's
The one-
Matthias's turn.
Did Brian kill the one next to me, or is it still alive?
It is like on its last legs.
Okay.
I'm sure if you hit it, it will finish it off.
Yep, that's a hit for 11 points of damage.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead and roll my
Okay,
critical
right.
on that. Yeah,
Crit is a 11 on the crit.
Yeah, so that's a right arm. Let's see here. Yeah, so your sword comes down over its right arm, and this time, take it clean off as the Beastman falls to the ground, spraying blood over the rest of you as it pirouettes and falls into the pool along with all of the others there. Two more Beastmen, blasted by lightning bolts, stand between you and the tunnel that is further into the darkness.
If I can, I'll use my second attack to shoot one of them with the pistol in my offhand.
Sure.
Which is a miss.
Oof.
Yep.
All right.
Third shot with a Hockland is another miss. Can't shoot
Another
today.
miss. All right. I need to roll a couple things, but it's going to be Astrid's turn.
Okay, I would really like to push this beast dude off of me right now.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Do
That's
I
like
need
a
to
half
roll
action.
anything?
That's just a half action.
Alright. Then I want to grab my greatsword, turn around, and cut its head off because I did not consent to this action.
All right. It's prone and asleep, so you get like plus 30 to hit it.
Alright. Boom!
Wow.
Ooh, all right, okay.
Doesn't get
Yeah.
much better than that.
Yeah. It's just
Damn.
clean. It's just absolutely
Yeah, not
clean.
feeling the damage, but
But still, you bring your sword. It's perfect. Perfect executioner stroke. And separate Beastman's head from its body. Excellent. My turn. Let's see. I rolled damage for how much damage the shaman has taken. So the shaman was screaming, braying out as it was consumed in these magical flames. Just as fast as they appear, they die, and there is a completely burned and charred corpse of the Bray shaman. That's all that's left. Two other beastmen, staggered by the lightning bolt, stand between and attack. Gosh, they're going to go after Matthias, because I think he is the
Let
closest.
them come.
Took a shot at them. So they get a plus 10 to this roll for that. So one of them hits Matthias, and second hit on Matthias.
Damn.
First one to location 23. That's 44. 14 damage to location 23.
Yep. I say okay, it hurts a lot.
And 11 to 44.
Alright, I take a total of 5 wounds. I'm on 8 out of 15 remaining.
All right. That's their
Oh.
round. I don't have anyone else at the moment. Even I've been forgetting to go with Zalgeg, by the way. He's spaced out in the back.
It's just
Jimin's
chilling.
turn. He just like completely dissociated.
he's just meditating to the sound of combat. It's just like his peaceful place.
He's waiting for a worthy foe to show.
Hmm.
Yeah. He's killed Beastmen.
Sure. Yeah.
As Eamon clears his throat, let me help you, since I am a caster. Wait, what the hell? And he kind of kicks a bucket of like they don't clean up anything around here, and kicks a bucket of butter off of his foot. and seeing this, yeah, he's just going to toss a lightning bolt at one of the beastmen on Matthias.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a channeling roll, which is that. So let's see if this actually works. It did. No,
Do it again.
It's just all fucked up. Sorry, man.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's okay. So channeling roll, that's fine. And then I can only do up to 3. So I'm gonna do 4 with the last one. Oh shit. And I'm gonna re-roll that. Last week and this week are the tale of two. There we go. Yeah.
All right.
Repeat.
There you go.
It's enough to cast a spell. Yay.
Are you shooting another lightning storm into this cave?
No, not another lightning storm. Just a bolt at one of the ones on Matthias.
Gotcha.
So he's gonna take. He's gonna take 15 damage, lightning damage.
All right. To
I
location.
clear my throat
Amazing.
with power.
Yeah. You vaporize its head. There's just a smoldering crater where its neck was, and now there is one not Minotaur, but Beastman on Matthias. Brienne.
Good thing you brought along a caster.
Brienne will look around and literally try and find the next one closest to her, and
There is one left, wounded and
Okay.
fighting Matthias.
then she will just aim. That's 7
Mhm.
and hit with an 11.
Yeah. Okay. This one. Let's see. Go ahead and roll me a critical real quick. At
Okay.
2%. Nice.
43.
All right. That was 2. So, Matthias, you're fighting the 2 beastmen. One of them's head gets vaporized by the lightning bolt. The other one, you see Brienne's arrow come out and hit it solidly in the chest. It kind of like stumbles back a bit as it seems surprised by the arrow and like it hit something vital. All right, that was your first attack, Brienne.
Yep. Same again.
All right,
That's 30.
that's a headshot.
And a 7.
All right. Second arrow hits it in the head, and you see it sort of like enter right up its nose, and it kind of like blinks a couple of times and falls back onto the floor. Not quite dead, certainly dying. There are no more enemies left that you can see. So there are a great number, or there's about 5 or 6 mutants that are scrambling back around the fire at the far end, but none of them have weapons. None of them are making any move to oppose you.
Oh. Look towards the rest of the party. We should keep one alive, see if it knows anything.
We don't have the munitions to waste on killing all of these.
I'll go and stab him.
Okay.
Go and run through any of the others.
Yeah,
I
most
keep
of them
one alive.
are. There's that pig thing. That's sort of the. It's actually.
Oh
like
god, I
tele-
forgot about the pig.
I'm gonna keep the
can't
pig alive.
Yeah.
Can't he like
And-
fly or no, he's teleporting.
You can teleport at will, but it arrives with only one hit point when it does. So there's a pig thing, which as you get closer, you see it's more of like its face is certainly human, and its front limbs are sort of hands that are in the process of becoming hooves. One of them sort of like calcareous growths coming off of its knuckles, and another one like hoofs pushing through its skin. And it just has a wretched half pig, half man face. Its back arched, and it just kind of like every move it winces in pain as it tries to get away. The others are not quite so degraded, but
So,
Matthias runs one of them.
Yeah, I'll run through the other 3 until there's just this one Hunchback of Notre Dame meets Babe dude left standing. And I'll grab him by whatever like scruff of clothing that he's got. They're going to tell me everything.
it just sort of like makes a kind of
Can you
pig
speak,
noise.
creature?
I can't speak.
I hear your words. Tell me, who leads this band of yours in the woods and in this cave? Is there another? Perhaps one that looks like me?
The Blessed Mother leads us, and her chosen ones.
This mother, where can she be found?
It kind of like makes this weird sort of like almost aroused noise. And you'll never stop her.
Where can I find her?
Sort of, you'll meet her at her altar.
Yes. Where is this altar? Pathetic little creature.
You wish to rush to your doom. And it sort of looks over towards the cave that leads deeper into the cliff.
Thank you. No, I merely wish to rush towards your own. And I'll put a pistol into its skull.
Okay.
And I say, is she waiting for us? Before I pull the trigger. Just pressing the pistol into the temple.
She is finishing her great work.
Of course. Thank you. And I will kill a creature.
Yeah, its pig thing brains splatter all over the cave wall. Other than the roar of the waterfall, the cave is silent. The fire has died down a bit and casts long shadows over everyone. Now that you've had a chance to sort of take stock of this room, you notice that there's a rhythm to the air here. Something is subtly pulling in the direction of the tunnel at the far end of the cave. You can see little wicker tokens and other votive figures scattered throughout, some of them hanging from hooks on the ceiling. They subtly sway as if being breathed in to the cave.
Eamon, I believe there is enough here to gather as many samples as you wish.
No. He kind of like seems a little distracted, and see him kind of retract his arms up into his long, voluminous sleeves a little bit. I require a sample from one of the leaders. It's just a contingency.
You heard the creature. She lies within, is finishing whatever work it is it's planning. Should stop her. And I'm like visibly really bleeding right now.
Unfortunately, your healer is in a ditch somewhere under a tree.
Mm-hmm. We should press onwards.
Good.
Yes. See him kind of narrowing his eyes at Matthias a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I narrow my eyes back at you merely for the fact that you narrowed your eyes at me.
Rian, you take the lead.
Yeah. And drink a potion here.
Okay.
Brienne just sort of looks and just nods as, of course, and she's doing this sort of mid pulling out any arrows that she can reuse to see if they're usable again, and starts to head off first and try and find the best route.
Okay.
Quietly.
Quietly. So it is. You get maybe 20 feet into this tunnel before it sort of takes its first course alteration, and it's dark in here. the light of the fire in the first cave doesn't extend that far. Do you have any kind of way do you have like the night vision talent or any other way to see in here?
I don't think I do.
I'd hand you a torch if she was going into like.
Yeah, I was
complete
going to say, can I just sort of? I'll literally just ask someone for a torch because I don't have
fire. I look happy.
Oh yeah.
As you know, I am a caster.
Really?
I could provide light.
It's a dragon ogre, by the way, Jim.
A dragon ogre is like you take a dragon and an ogre and then make a centaur out of them. So it's like the lower body of a dragon, the upper body of an ogre, and they I think they can also like throw lightning bolts or something. Maybe.
Can they fly?
They're also very big. They cannot fly. They're very big. I think a dragon ogre or some other kind of monster down here, but there may be something like that down here. Thank you for the boss monster.
Yeah, I'll handle a torch and say good luck.
Hey! And yeah, Brienne will try to sleuth as much as possible with a burning torch.
All right. Give me a
Astrid
silent
does have night vision.
Oh, really? Yeah, go ahead and make me a silent move roll.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
That one's rough. All right.
Apparently, just by having a torch, that's maybe that much more rubbish than this.
Yeah, you're keeping that roll?
No. I'm going to expend a fortune point. I don't want to die. If anything hits me, I'm down. Silent move. Let's try again. Oh, for God's sake.
All right.
Fortune is not favouring us right now.
Fortune does not like me.
Brienne,
I'm meant to be found.
You creep forward as best you can, but there is water here that's sort of pouring down from the pool that formed in that first cave, and so there's little puddles and the like that's difficult to see in the dark, causing you to splash around as you walk down. This whole tunnel here, at the deeper in that you go, more humid and just absolutely miserable it starts to feel. It's almost as if it's moist and sweaty, and the walls are covered in condensation and sort of slimes and molds and the like. And as you get further and further in, you start to smell a kind of musky odor that just sort of like clings to your nose and gets to you. What does Brienne do?
Brienne immediately covers like her nose and her mouth, and so does she see any creature or anything?
You're in a twisting tunnel that generally progresses along a downward slope. It's a natural water-formed kind of cave, so it's sort of like every now and then there's a big dip or shelf or something. It's not even ground. It's sort of slow going as you pick your way down. But you have a sensation of just sort of that something is down there, like a sixth sense of something.
Okay. She'll back up to the others.
Okay.
I sort of uncover her nose. She's just like, oh, okay. This sounds stupid, but I didn't see anything. I'm pretty sure there's something there. I can just feel it. I think I need like a second opinion or something, but the route down is slippery, and you might want to cover your nose.
Sometimes the eyes need not see chaos, for the heart can feel it. You are wise to come back.
Well,
let us proceed together.
Okay.
There's not an
And
attack.
if she has a scarf or anything, she'll pull it up over her nose, and she will head back down the tunnel, sort of beckoning them all to go with her.
I'd probably
Okay.
do the same thing that like Rat has most likely imparted as once he was a rat catcher or like a sewer rat. Undoubtedly, he's like had to mask his face. Probably he had to do it with urine, but we don't have to do it.
He undoubtedly had to do that with urine.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, too.
All right. So, who all's going? Then everyone's going.
Yeah,
I think we
but
proceed as a
it's
unit.
pretty dark in there, and Eamon starts to feel a little apprehension. But oh wait, I'm a caster, and he'll cast martial arts, and it goes off just fine. And so we have some lights, like I'll keep them kind of behind us,
Yes.
so that those that are more sneaky can still be sneaky, but we can have lights travel with us.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Oh
Seconds.
wait, hang on.
We got. What's that?
So now my clothes are 120 years older than they were from the time I got my wild magic surge.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think that. How much gold are you wearing? Like, what's like? You're wearing mostly silk,
A
sort of other
magnanimous
things.
dispensation.
5 crits.
Now kill them all. Yes. I'll
Yeah.
take that.
All right.
I'll take
Okay.
that.
Yeah, no, I just described it as like very fine silks and like heavy, like like cotton, or and so, yeah, probably pretty old.
Yeah, so Eamon's clothes start to fall away and rot off. I would imagine like your cloak and maybe boots are the first to go, those that are the most worn. But it's pretty clear as he casts this spell that Eamon's clothes start falling off of him.
Yes.
I don't comment.
Magic, magic suffuses this place. Be wary. And actually, probably now, like his like sleeves have fallen off, and y'all can see quite prominently that his hand or fingers are like tentacles, like wrapped around his staff.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
I take a look at those hands.
Yes, this is what the shaman did to me. He cursed
Is
me
that-
with a mutation.
Is that reversible?
It will take
of
some
a spell?
study.
Hmm.
Yes, it is the. I have read of this spell. It is a curse from the warp storm of chaos itself. Bestows mutations on others. But it is a lofty spell to reach for, as you can see, burst into flames by even reaching for that amount of power.
Hmm.
I know your views
Yes.
on mutants, Matthias.
Best to be careful with those hands. We should see to them afterwards, one way or another.
All right. You all creep down the tunnel, which, as I've said, is a rough, naturally formed tunnel that's quite treacherous. But as you pick your way down slowly, you two start to smell the heady aroma of some musky scent, and the sweat off of each of you starts to be like, it's one of those where once you smell it, you can't unsmell it. And you start to pick up on the scent of each other, of something up ahead. And the walls seem to subtly pulse with a type of life or rhythm. Who is in front?
I'd say probably Brienne if she's leading the way.
Brienne's leading the way, and then Astrid next. And then who's third there?
Oh,
Eamon would probably
You
be
know
in the
what?
back.
Yeah, I think normally I'd let you, but the fire stops and bids Eamon to proceed, so I can keep an eye on him.
Zalgeg will follow and bring up the rear. He seems more alert now. Like, oh, that's a pretty bad fight. And then the rest of you continue on. I need Brienne and Astrid to make me perception tests.
I have night vision as well, just in case that helps a lot.
Yes.
I got a 3.
Y'all have a torch as well, so you can kind of see through that. Nice. All right.
Success.
The two of you, as you're walking forward, you can hear two things, aware of them kind of at the same time. What sounds like drums or something up ahead, soft and rhythmic, and heavy breathing much closer. It sounds bestial, and it resonates through the tunnel.
Hearing that, Brienne will immediately hold her hand out for everyone to stop and look to Astrid. Did you hear that?
Drums in the deep.
I'm more concerned about the breathing. We're going to be close if we can hear something breathing.
Their breathing concerns me as well. We must silence it.
Can I either sneak forward a little bit and just if there's a corner to peer around and have a look, can I
Yeah,
I see anything?
Yeah.
Can I hold out to stop her from going, and can I go instead?
It's up to y'all.
If that's
Brienne looks to Astrid like she lets her, but Brienne looks at her
I have better
confused.
vision in the dark. And she is going to use a nat 20 to silent move and move up.
All right. Okay.
Plus, if I get hit in the face, it's not going to kill me.
Right. Astrid sneaks forward, and so that's how many degrees of success then?
That would be, I think I'm on 23 for my concealment, so it would be 2.
Okay, gotcha. You sneak forward, and there is a small portion of the tunnel has widened out, and standing, not really at attention or something, are two large Minotaurs. You see one of them has flower garlands wrapped all around his shoulders and his horns. It's sort of they're all done up like a sacrificial bull. It's wearing a kind of leather harness, and these spiraling patterns in some kind of paint have been marked on its fur. But both of them are blocking the way, and there's really, looking at it, you don't think there's any way you could sneak past.
Is there a good spot to snipe at them from? Like a boulder or something?
Yeah, there's plenty of places. Yeah, there's plenty of places.
I want to take a shot with my bow. If possible.
Yes. So you're trying to kite them to you, or what?
Just a shot out of the dark. That's they won't know until it hits them, kind of thing.
Okay.
At least for the last one.
So yeah, it looks like we can funnel them up into the tunnel and fight them in a narrower place than joining them into the chamber. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. It's the tunnel here that you're in currently is much narrower than beyond. They would be cramped. They could fit, but they would be cramped. Or you can go towards them. So it's a 38 to hit. Right leg.
Through its right leg, and 9 damage. One of those is armor piercing.
Okay, good to know. Actually, it's not wearing armor on its leg, but still good to know. All right. Your first shot flies out of the darkness and buries itself into the Doombull's right leg. It reacts down, and as it becomes aware and sort of casts its gaze about to try to find you, but doesn't see anything with your crit success there. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. and we'll proceed in that order.
Totally want to aim for the garlanded one, by the way. That one.
Okay.
That's the one that we want to annoy, right?
Yeah, fuck your garlands.
Do that. All right, I got the 12.
How about that Talith heresy?
I've got 15.
Ooh. 8.
All right. Anybody got between a 12 and a 15?
I got a 15.
15. All right. And then Astrid is next with a 10. And then Matthias and Eamon. So it's Brienne, myself, Astrid, Matthias, and Eamon. So, Brienne, you see Astrid kind of take this shot. And what would be like the next thing that Astrid does after that? Like, you've taken the shot, and what are you about to do?
Move down behind cover and reload.
Okay, so you can, Brienne, you can see this. You can see that she's taking a shot and is about to reload, and that's
Okay.
That's when you have a chance to act.
Literally, as soon as
And
she
I reload
ducks,
fast.
she loosens an arrow as well.
Okay, so you duck around the corner and loose and fire an arrow.
Yes. As soon as Astrid ducks, and that's 7.
Okay,
And
that's a
then she
head
will-
for second.
Yep, she will go again. Oh, and she will not. Never mind.
All right, that's a miss. All right, that's Brienne's turn. This garlanded bull comes at you and sort of bellows in a low sort of challenge and attempts to like swing its what looks to be kind of maybe a halberd or some sort of weird axe spear thing at the two of you, but it is not. It's a little bit cramped there. So I have Brienne and Astrid sort of closer to the front where they were firing, and he's going to attack. Attack one.
I'm really hoping he doesn't see me, but
Oh, that's true. That's very true. All right, Brienne. I hit location 21 on Brienne.
that's right arm.
14.
Ooh.
Right arm, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So, it's 10.
And that's 10. All right. Here we go. That's all I can do. Move and attack. It does that and sort of like tries to take your arm off as it slashes out at you. It would have to get rid of its big weapon in order to get any further in to attack you. It's kind of right there blocking blocking the passage. Astrid, it's your turn. This thing is right on top of you. Just hit Brienne.
Just like drop that bow and pull the greatsword.
All right.
So swing one. Do I get a bonus because Brienne's right there?
Mhm.
Or is Brienne
Yeah.
down? Okay,
No, she's
that
okay.
was still miss.
Still miss.
Right.
Okay.
28
Yes.
And then
Correct.
swing. There we go.
That's it.
Oh, shit. Yeah, 13.
15.
Locations. Does that become 17? So that would be body.
Yeah. Body. That's body shot.
0-7, so it'd be
0-7.
0.
All right. Yeah, you slash out at it and like, deliver a deep cut to its torso, but it is still fighting. That was 2 attacks. Matthias, it's your turn. You can see some sort of large bull-like creature, maybe a Minotaur of some kind, attacking Astrid and Brienne.
Okay, I'm gonna use one of my crits to shoot him because
Alright.
I got a lot of them, and I've reloaded my pistol in the meantime. So that is a 55 location, which is left arm, and damage is 7.
7.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, that's crossbow. Sorry, it's pistol, so I do have impact, so I'll reroll that. Oh, it's even worse. 6. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, your bullet skips across its skin, leaving it a grazing wound. All right.
All right, second shot. I'm gonna. Come on now. The location is 11, so in the head. Sorry, 17, so not in the head. Actually, the right arm.
Right arm.
And the pistol damage is 9.
Man. All right.
Really not that good.
Guys, nickel and dime this doom bull as 2 shots go off and hit the doom bull that Astrid and Brienne are fighting. Eamon, it is your turn.
Yes. Eamon begins to make symbols that are like in the opposite direction of the spirals that are like painted into this bull's skin as he channels magic about him. And it channels just fine. And he's going to cast a curse on this bull. So,
Okay.
Yeah, you don't make a roll or anything. So,
Alright.
that's cool. No repeats. It's going to be 19, which is more than the 16. So, yes, I curse him. So, for the next 24 hours, you have a minus 10% on all your tests, and attacks made against you get +1 damage.
Okay. Minus 10, and then everyone gets +1 damage from that. I need Eamon to make me a willpower roll as you feel a surge of magical energy course through you. There is something in these caverns that is supercharging your magic.
Also, real quick, that's Mr. Pokey says, let's throw in a boss monster attacking the party, which wields a magic item. Also, whoever is first damaged by them gets a wild magic surge. That's just that.
So another
Awesome.
boss monster.
Barely passed that willpower
4
test.
boss monsters this.
Damn.
Look at us just dungeon crawling tonight.
Right?
I know, right?
And then
I got you on that boss monster with a magic item. Excellent.
and then my close age a further 63 years. So now we're up to 185 years.
I think most of them are falling off. They're just like tattered rags kind of around you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah,
Yeah.
just a loincloth, and I would take like one of the rags and just like be holding the warp stone in like one hand with my staff in the other.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's where Eamon is. Brienne, it's your turn.
Brienne is pretty hurt. She sort of winces and sort of hisses through her clenched teeth as she tries to pull up her arm to actually fire, and she's going to use 2 nat 20s.
Okay.
Just to try and kill these things. So I'm just going to roll this for the location.
Sure.
So that's a 10 and a 7.
All right. So that's 2. Actually, it was like right leg twice there. 10 and 7. All right. Go ahead and roll me a critical, please.
Okay. It's 22.
Yes.
So, Brienne kind of backs up a little, and you're just firing like point blank with your bow while it's engaged in melee with Astrid. Shooting it twice in its right leg, the second one sinking deep, and you can see just blood gushing out of the wound, leaving a deep red ribbon down its painted fur and quickly pooling on the cave floor. The Minotaur starts to sway somewhat, and let's see. What's here? Otherwise, it's about to be. The Minotaur passes out, and it looks like it's about to like back up and try to like charge down the tunnel with its horns. And as it rears itself up, it slips on the blood and falls forward into its own vital life essence. There is another one right behind it, however, and it is going to attempt to attack Astrid. One down.
They have a cave
Let's go.
Minotaur.
We've got 2 cave Minotaurs. Astrid. I miss with my first attack. And the second one hits Astrid.
Can I
Location
dodge
52.
blow?
Sure.
Can I dodge blow? Please?
It's what is success?
Yes!
Alright. There we go. Alright.
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah. So
It's
yeah.
about 3 degrees of success,
3?
right?
Yeah, I got 3. You got 2. It's barely connects as you attempt to dodge the blow. And here we go. 17 damage to location 52.
My 50, that's 50, sorry, 2?
It's chest or right arm?
So
Left arm.
Left arm. Left arm. I reduce that to 9 wounds. My
Alright.
various toughness and armor. And I really wish I'd kept my full armor on.
Thanks.
And I'm done. It is Astrid's turn.
Don't forget your crits.
I just, I would like to crit him in the face. Really hard.
Alright.
Just swing with my greatsword. That will be location 90, which is left leg.
Uh-huh.
Fuck roll damage.
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Oh, that was a 1 on my screen. I'm glad that rolled over.
That's
And
nice.
then I'd like to crit again because he hurt me real bad.
Sure.
That'll be
Eight,
location 48, which is
Left arm.
left arm.
Uh-huh.
And 15.
Alright. Let's see here. Okay. Wow. Alright. We've got 13.
I say I take the damage as because it's a group I shout Astrid. That's the only way we communicate in battle.
Astrid, roll a critical on this thing. Give me a crit.
Astrid. Hang on. Brian. Just say his name.
Like a Kira.
Let's see. So you're
for 5 minutes.
that's great. Dad. As you bring your greatsword in to strike at its left arm, there, you stab it deeply in the arm, but it's not holding anything in that arm, and it's not a killing critical wound hit. So it is severely wounded, but still fighting. Matthias, your turn.
I'd spend a fortune point and get another swing.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
I would
Well,
like to do
Astrid's turn.
that.
Alright.
Sorry. I would like to spend another nat 20 to hit this guy.
Go.
Great. So it's location 37, which is his
left
left
arm
arm
again.
again. There's only part of it left.
Same.
Oh,
There we go. There we go.
there we go. So that's a total of 26.
Yeah, 26. Give me an idea. Tell me how Astrid kills this Doom.
So she stabs him in that arm, and then she twists the blade and just drags it from the arm through his body, just using all the brute force she can summon, just to cleave him through.
Nice.
And then she'll just pull the sword out,
Uh-huh.
because it gets tangled in rib cage eventually. But she'll just
Right. None of that. Astrid rips the sword out, and these 2 Minotaurs partially block the tunnel. Right? Like, you're gonna have to, crawl around them and over them. But the path is clear. And Astrid, at least, looking now that the Minotaurs are out of the way, and you kind of see there is a flicker of some kind of light on the tunnel walls ahead of you, past where the Minotaurs were guarding.
I'm gonna shout, "Find her!" and press onwards.
Okay. Matthias,
I
press forwards.
brush past Astrid and I'm like, "Good on you, son." But I'm hell bent on finding this witch now.
Okay.
after you then, Matthias.
Pirates code. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
On me.
Matthias presses onward. Anyone who all is following immediately after? Zalgag is following immediately after Matthias. How about the three, Brienne, Astrid, and Aim, all following?
Yeah, Eamon's going to continue following, but seeing as how this is getting really dangerous, he's once again starting to look around with some fear in his eyes until he, I'm a caster. Yes, and he casts etheric armor on himself.
All right.
Yes, you are a caster, Aemon. We have seen evidence of this. What is your point?
Tentacle fingers, of course you are.
And
You feel the corruption spreading?
Oh, it is rooting myself in the truth that keeps me strong in the face of these waves of chaos.
It's a shame it doesn't keep your clothes strong in the waves of chaos. She's gonna
thanks for reminding me.
down the tunnel.
I need that,
Thanks for
and I need
reminding
a willpower roll as well.
So now we're up to 227 years.
Yeah, I think that's the loincloth as well.
The fun
Eamon is just naked now.
I mean, it's dark.
I need to roll
right? Like,
willpower
it's
to
dark.
cope with that image.
It's dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do see him like, Jim, I want to do this like on my staff. If you remember, like he's basically like a fist holding like a gem. He's gonna take the warp stone and just like smash the gem and replace it in his staff. If you'll allow me. Just for aesthetics.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Okay, thanks. And I need a willpower test, right?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Passed.
All right. You feel another surge of magic course through you as you cast your spell, but you keep it in check.
Yeah.
Aemon, the Chaos Sorcerer, with his tentacle fingers and warp stone staff.
I'm like really narrowing my eyes towards him right now. Like,
yeah.
And Aemon looking back at Matthias, sensing that magical blood. Narrows his eyes right back, like.
All right, my wild magic is that I have a permanent +4 to hit and a +4 damage bonus versus the caster. Whoever the caster is in this scenario. It could be Aemon. Or it could be this witch. I think the witches are more appropriate. In that case, like a +4 to hit is...
All right, here we go.
It's like a 20% bonus.
Matthias's flesh has been corrupted, but his spirit has remained true to Sigmar the entire time. And Sigmar's blessing is bestowed upon Matthias. Matthias will get... that +4 is roughly a +20, right? Like, that's kind of how I'm seeing it. And then the damage is... we can just have... That could just be a damage bonus that you get.
Cool. And that's just on the witch, yeah?
Correct. That's just when fighting these remaining two witches here. All right. Zalgeg follows closely behind Matthias, who is stalking off towards whatever is deeper. Sounds like everyone else is following along.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Pressing onward.
Sorry,
The sound of drum. That's all right. Pressing onwards, the sound of the drums grows louder, and you think you can hear the occasional half moan, half scream between the drum beats. There's a flickering shadows along the tunnel wall as you draw closer to whatever chamber is ahead of you. Matthias is in the lead. Are you just running straight there, like heading straight there? Are you?
I'm gonna stop this witch. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay.
He's not running, but he's definitely moving at such a pace. Reloading the pistol as he goes, ready for this
Torch in the other hand.
confrontation.
Or do you have,
Torch
like-
in the other hand, yeah.
Right.
Ready to burn these witches.
And I'll keep the march lights behind everyone so we're all nice and backlit and epic looking.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And also keep them
Sometimes
bright so
they're-
I'm just a silhouette. You can't make out any detail about Aemon.
Right.
It's like the shot that we used for the season poster. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Movie poster version, yeah.
The nude outlines.
Oh, it's from that
Right.
scene. Yeah. Hey, that was who the naked guy was.
The tunnel The tunnel opens up into a large, multi-leveled cavern. There is some sort of natural rise in the center of this cavern that is the center of activity for it. On this natural rise in the cavern, there is an enormous fertility statue of just at least 15 feet in height, headless, limbless, just a pregnant torso that is covered in garlands, candles, and other votive offerings. It is ancient beyond all recognition and has some sort of fungal or mold growth on it. Around this fertility statue are hundreds of candles and incense burners, little bowls and cups. And on a pile of furs in front of the fertility statue is a writhing mass of bodies. You can see 4 humans who remind you of the Talites who fled through here earlier. They are in the middle of being, you can't quite tell if they're being tortured or pleasured by a group of live, soft fur-covered somethings. They appear to be beast folk, but they could be something different. They have a sinuousness and a sensuality to them that I need everyone to make me a willpower check for.
I'm using that 20 on that because I don't want to be fucking these guys.
Sure thing. You want to avoid the beast man orgy?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same here.
I'm rolling.
Everybody,
I'm rolling. I don't mind if I do it. It's fine. I'm down with it.
I'm taking that gamble.
all right. You resist.
I can take a risk.
You resist the subtle pull
Put my
towards this
Astro puts the keys in the bowl.
There's a lot. I don't know that the pulling's that subtle, Jim.
Matthias, tell me you developed a petrol bomb.
In this pile, you see glimpses of flesh and also steel as long curved daggers start to come out of hidden pockets and sheaths of the furry figures. You are standing about, let's say 20 meters away from where you're at. It's dark between here and there. There's sort of a pool of light in a natural cavern. And the air here is hazy. It's difficult to see a lot. Tell me what it is that you guys do.
That was my eyes, my head.
God damn it, Will. Just read the chat. You and me both, brother.
Okay. I really got lost after the description of the sex file. Are there?
So yeah, you guys are about 20 yards away. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got fertility statue, sex pile under the fertility statue.
Correct.
Do I see a witch?
You do not see any witch right now where you're at. You just see the sex pile.
Okay. I light up a torch. And encourage everyone else to do this as well. Light the torch. Do not look into it. And I'm gonna just lob a torch into the sex pile to really get things heated up.
Okay.
Is there an obnoxious way to notch 3 arrows just to multi-fire into the puddle of people?
Yeah, I mean, you could try. They're probably gonna do less damage. I might have a reverse impact of taking the worst of 2 damage dice.
That's fine.
Just because it's you're trying to fire a bunch of them at once. But if you're trying to just get their attention,
just break it up and cause chaos.
gotcha. All right.
Break it up, guys.
Break it up.
Come on now.
Firing
Time
in
out.
arrows
Time
come
out.
after it.
With a bucket of cold water.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you
should
can fire that. Anyone else?
I think
shall I roll-
Brienne. So I said I think Brienne will take the torch that Matthias already gave her and probably follow suit. She's more in like shock than anything, so.
Okay. Throwing the torch. Eamon?
I got a lot of torch as well, yeah.
Eamon, I not use fire. I will use lightning. Because I am a caster. That's what I do. And clears his throat and throws a lightning bolt down.
All right.
Do you want me to like roll a ballistics for the torch, Jim?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me ballistics for the 2 torches that are being thrown. Just
I like-
I gotta drop it. 20 on that.
I like the idea of like fire and arrows and lightning. Everything is just coming down like a devil's pile.
Right.
Nope.
Nope.
Walking in on the fucking gangbang. Oh my god. Wobbit with the 10 wild magic surges till the next witchlet appears. Woo!
All right.
Woo.
Wow.
My friend. He's gonna... Something's gonna happen to it.
Something's gonna happen. All right. I need ballistic skill rolls for.
Damn it, Wobbit! I'm not gonna get fucked by a peacock again. This is not happening.
Those would
Roll for Frederick. What are we rolling for here? Someone call it odds or evens. Odds. Is it odds or evens? For friend or
The
enemy.
peacocks.
Odds. Yeah.
Odds for
Right, odds.
friends. All right,
Sure.
Odds for friends.
Yeah.
That's a 6.
I would have had to kill it anyway. Like, there's no way I could let this thing live.
Okay. The giant peacock in here somewhere. Let's see what we got.
All right. For it, yeah, by mistake. As if you guys are not any worse than one another. You guys, you're all in this together.
You're all going to the naughty corner.
Eamon, make me a willpower roll for Eamon as an arrow, and then the 2 torches fly in. Astrid, you already got your ballistic skill there. Eamon's good for that.
I used
Party
my
launching
damage
there.
with my lightning.
on a torch.
Correct. Yeah. And then Brienne, did you give me a ballistic skill, or were you using a crit for that torch?
I was just going to use a crit to get rid of these,
Gotcha.
so.
Gotcha. All right. The 2 torches arc through the air, and these beastmen look slick, wet, and as the torches sort of find them, the oils that they are soaked in begin to catch fire.
This is why you use water-based lubricants.
There you go. And
How many times do we have to say
Thank
it? I mean, this is why.
Kids, come on now.
Eamon, did you roll damage?
It was awful. Yeah.
I did 8 damage.
8 damage, all right. And then the arrows sort of come in and hit. It's a big mass of them. There's maybe a dozen or more that are there. They start catching on fire. The arrows land in amongst them and sort of draw their attention away. And then the lightning bolt kind of streaks through the group and hits some. I need us to roll initiative, and I'm going to tell you what happens immediately after. So we're going to cram some kind of fight in here.
That sounds like a promise, Jim.
It's gonna happen. Oh my god. We've got a 12.
I got
all right.
15 again.
Now the action
All right.
really begins.
Yeah, I got a 10. So we got Brienne, Eamon with a 12. We've got myself.
Mutant Nora and Idris went in. I wonder I do hope that they were.
No.
I don't know.
All right. This is for Zalgig, so I remember to go for him. He's gonna go. He's gonna go last. All right. Brienne, Eamon, monsters, Matthias, Astrid, and then Zalgig. Brienne, this mass, this orgy of beastmen and Talites begins to break up. You see knives come out as sort of the first of them begin to scatter, and one of them, one of the Talite priests has its daggers plunged right into its heart and then just sort of like ripped as he screams in both ecstasy and agony. It's Brienne's turn.
She'll probably be, well, literally lost for words, and just immediately fire, probably screaming actually, just at what she's just seen. And she won't hit, but she will roll again. 61.
61. Just barely missed. All right. 2 attacks.
This has thrown her off. This whole situation has thrown her off.
Clearly. All right, that's Brienne. Eamon.
So this is a big group of people, yeah?
Yes.
Well, I have something for
They're here every Wednesday.
big groups of people.
This is the Wednesday group.
Excuse me while I look this up. So yeah, Eamon is going to step forward in all of his nudity,
Sure.
and and clear his throat and present his staff to the group. Sorry. Anyway, and is going to cast another lightning storm.
All right.
So I'm going to spend a fortune point to give me an extra half action, so I can do a channeling roll this round.
Sure.
Oh my god, I failed my channeling roll.
Oh my god.
I'm going to use my last portent of Amul
All right.
and pass that channeling roll.
Okay.
And so that's a plus 10. Ooh, there's there's a Zeech's curse that I'm going to... Wait, hang on. Hi. I'm going to re-roll that.
All right.
Still got a Zeech's curse and still passed. Oh well.
All right. Go ahead and roll me that curse and get your damage. Magic is flying around fast and furious today.
Oh fuck.
Go ahead and give me another
that's
team.
Oh, okay. So everybody wanted to know what happens. Here we move up to the major chaos manifestation table.
No.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Oh my god!
So bad. That's so bad.
I just want everyone to know it has been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. As I now have to roll on the catastrophic manifestation table.
It's no.
In this case,
Oh. In this case, we get
Do
some
you got any
epic chat
fortune
for
points?
Eamon.
Do they work on this?
Pay respects.
how's
Some
that
of them
now?
can. Huh?
I didn't hear the question.
Can I
What was the
use
question?
I could use a fate point. There are some of them that I can avoid death by a fate point, but we'll see. What happens, Jim?
Yeah.
In your new expanded
I need you to make a I need you to make me a willpower check.
I pass.
Okay.
Oh god.
I'm gonna start rolling up a new character.
Get it out, Jim. What is it?
I need.
Come on, man!
I gotta catch myself. Eamon's left arm withers away and falls off.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's not so bad.
Could have been worse.
Great. He didn't
Okay.
get anyway.
I was expecting a demon or to get sucked into the chaos
They're not-
field.
Those are only one of many options. It is a D1 on the table.
He screams as his arm withers and falls off. At least now I only have one gross squid hand. I'm so glad I put that chaos stone in my staff. Huh?
We'll say.
Anyway, oh yeah, damage for the spell.
Yeah, damage for the spell. There you go. There you go.
Oh my god!
There you go.
Oh,
all right.
yes.
Yeah.
It was worth
Yeah.
All right,
That was worth it.
So at least
Worth it.
it.
it was worth it.
All right.
Fuck. So 18 damage on all of them.
Eamon just
Yeah.
looks at the sex pile and his arm falls off.
All the fapping that I will never do again.
Yeah. Eamon calls down a lightning storm on this huddle of Tallites and just grotesque, sensuous beastmen, and incinerates them all into ash with a lightning storm. Their charred bones blasted across the cavern. The garlands go flying. The candles many of them are snuffed out. And you think that you cracked the altar. That one.
Eamon!
And in that, you see his arm like vaporize from one of the bolts of lightning.
Right.
He kind of like slumps down, like with his staff, like barely holding himself up on his staff.
Mhm. There is a scream from across the cavern that echoes not through your ears, but through your mind.
Mhm.
Ah! This is my turn. And something from behind the statue comes out. It is a feminine figure in easily swollen with pregnancy, four-limbed and covered in downy fur. Her doe-like face gives way to a crown of antlers as Ashernos, the Earth Mother, steps out from behind her statue, her ritual interrupted. I need to make some wild magic rolls real quick.
Meet
Wait,
me,
get him.
witch! 10 of them. I'll look them up.
All right, do I get them here?
Alrighty. Try and rapid fire these one off. First one. The witch confesses to a list of crimes, none of which have happened.
Ooh, spooky.
Next one. The nearest lake undergoes massive tidal surges once per week.
So the one outside.
One
Okay.
outside, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Next one. If the witch is now bleeding, or if the witch is bleeding, its base AC is 0 for the next 1d10 hours. Not sure how that translates. Maybe like a bonus to hit if she's bleeding.
Yeah, for like a bonus to hit. Okay, yeah. If bleeding. Okay.
Fourth one for the witch is no one speaks to the witch for the next 2d4 minus 1 days. Okay, I guess.
She's gonna
So
be
no
dead.
monologue.
No monologuing.
Cool, that works for a plus 8. Number 5, she reacts violently to anyone wearing a golden ring.
It's at this point you notice where Eamon keeps a very special ring.
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
Oh my.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's at this moment as you make it, yeah. The next one is
It's
that
so dark beneath these boughs today.
it's the darkest bow, the darkest taint of chaos we've ever seen. The witch suddenly realizes that the caster, perhaps Eamon, is only an illusion. Witch realizes that Eamon is only an illusion.
Alright.
Next one. 8141 for the witch is a terrible fire occurred on this site 4d6 hours ago. That's what the kids have got. Okay, interesting. 7393. The witch's presence causes metal to yield disturbing reflections. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
That's cool.
That's 2.
9 for the witch is the witch can no longer conceal the fact that she is artificial. No longer
Okay.
conceal the fact that
She's a
artificial.
fake.
That's, yeah.
Real faker.
Yeah.
She's not a
faking in the-
Ashernos. Yeah.
She's been faking in the
Faking
sex pile.
In the sex
Yeah.
pile. Guys, it really wasn't that great. I have to
Honestly, I was just faking the whole time.
thinking about laundry.
Ooh, and the witch disgorges a king's lost signet ring, a long lost signet ring of a king. She disgorges.
Maybe that's why she has animosity towards ring. So Ashernos, screaming in your minds, stands up in the shadows beyond the fertility statue, stalks forward, taller. I don't know that you're tall and four-limbed, as she sort of walks forward, her what would be her regular limbs kind of resting on her pregnant belly, and then another set kind of enfold out from the rest of her torso. These have long, sharp talons. Her more normal-sized hands grip a brace staff of a shaman, and she strides forward. I'm not seeing the only one of these I'm seeing that really affects like the fight is if she's bleeding AC. Although there are some really cool ones in here.
Nice.
She spits something out, and it clatters across the floor as it looks like she was finishing consuming something. As her mouth has streaks of blood that have kind of run down her chin, in between her voluptuous beast woman cleavage. And she attacks. Here we go. She flings herself in a rage at the party and moves forward. But on the way, she doesn't have enough movement to get there, but on the way, she casts a spell. And nice here. The heat within the cavern grows intense, and everyone begins to sort of sweat profusely and the like. Here is the effects of summer heat. It doesn't do any damage, but it does make things much more difficult while you are fighting.
I can't even speak to you. Sorry.
So she is about halfway between the altar and you. She rushes forward, casts the spell, and then a second stirring in the cavern as something bigger and bulkier stirs in the shadows, but it does not reveal itself yet. That makes it Matthias's turn.
I level my pistol towards this crazy bitch, and I'm gonna unload. Wait, is she close to me, or is she still like 20 feet away?
She is really only about. She's like just outside of melee range. She didn't have quite enough to make it.
All right, in that case, I'm gonna drop a couple of pistol shots into her, and I'm aiming for the belly. Like Matthias, like lowers the pistol towards her face and then lowers it down into her stomach, and I'm gonna shoot her there twice.
So
both my nat 20s. Good.
Okay, so you got your nat 20s. Otherwise, everyone suffers minus 20 for the next 6 rounds on all tests as the heat affects your everything.
Okay. The location is crit 74 is in the body where I was aiming, and that was also in the body where I was aiming. Cool. So the first shot is for 13 points of damage. To the belly, and then the second one is 13 points of damage as well. 26.
26.
Well, 13 separately, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. All right. Well, 2 shots go off, and as they pierce into her abdomen, wisps of smoke emerge from the bullet wounds, as well as blood. That's Matthias' turn. Astrid.
Kill her.
Yeah, I'm just gonna unload pistols into her.
Okay. Pretty much, unless you roll like a 95 or above, you will hit her. Given the wild magic surge that was on her.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, they both hit, and they're both really bad rolls.
Nice.
Alright, so the first one is 14 to location 77, which is the body. Oh yeah, aim for the pregnant belly. I'm about that. And then the second one, kill the spawn. Is a 15 to 48, which is her left arm. I'm all about that left arm today.
Yeah, alright.
And two points armor piercing, or 1 on each.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So Matthias and Astrid take aim with their pistols and just unleash a salvo on her, hitting Ashernos 4 times. She staggers back underneath the blow, particularly as these are all magical weapons, correct, Eamon? All of these were all part of the magical ones.
I blessed some of their ammo. So
Gotcha.
I'm not sure. I can't remember whose ammo I blessed, but it was like 5 pieces of ammo.
Bless.
Gotcha.
My
Definitely
bow
bless.
and Brienne's bow and my sword and
It sounded like this.
Well, I can't bless a bow. I have to. It has to
That's
be
okay.
ammo.
That's what you
five
meant.
five
Alright.
shots each. Yeah.
Gotcha. Excellent. In that case, you've each used 2 of your magic bullets there. And she seems staggered, but also standing and upset, angry. Zalgeg seems to stalk off into the darkness, ignoring Ashernos. It makes Brienne's turn.
He's off to get that ogre.
Brienne will follow suit and just unload arrows. Oh god, 99.
Yeah, that's a minute.
Yeah, that's
a miss, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, she hits 1, and that is a 12.
All right, 12. That's location 37. That's left arm. She's 2 left arms. So
Fuck your arm.
fuck that arm. It's the top of the 2 of those
It's
left
the
arms.
Haven! As we can take care of that as well.
So that was 2 attacks and 1 hit there. Eamon, it's your turn.
Yeah, Eamon, feeling this sweltering heat, he's like, no. Slams his staff down and stands back up, looks Ashernos right in the eye and points with his one good arm. I am Eamon of the Celestial Court. You will not wrought this magic on us. And he'll swing out his staff, and I got a 3. That is exactly what I need to cast Dispel Magic, and I'm going to try to dispel this summer's heat. Now I need to make a channeling test, which I'm going to use a nat 20 on.
All right. Go ahead and make me a willpower test, and you dispel the summer heat.
I'm going to use a nat 20.
All right. Excellent.
Get
There we go. Get him,
And
boys.
he almost falls back down, but he keeps his feet under him.
Keeps his feet under him. There is a swirl of energy around Ashernos as these sort of pastel magic that infuses her begins to be visible by everyone present. And as the longer you stay in this room and fight, the more just minor visual hallucinations you have. Everyone can sort of see the swirl of magic around this place. They can feel its energy coursing through them. And what do we have here? Ferocious sees
It's,
honey badger.
Mark 3 and it's his life enemy. Yep.
Jeez.
Yep, of course.
All right,
Naturally.
sure.
In the sex pit as well.
In the sex pit and
Wow.
undead honey
The whole
badger.
time.
People just thought that honey badger don't give a fuck, but
Yeah.
they were in
Apparently
the sex pile too. So
they were in the sex pile. And a bizarre avian creature appears next to Ashernos. It has bright, sort of multicolored feathers and a almost serpentine body as it assists her in combat. So Ashernos is running up towards Matthias and Astrid and is going to make some attacks. So here we go.
Let her try.
First one on Matthias. There are 4 limbs. That is a hit on Matthias,
Yikes.
and another hit on Matthias. 2 hits.
Ooh. I'm weak.
Do you have any kind of parry or dodge you can use? I think, well, you don't have a shield, so you don't have a free parry. I don't know if you have a dodge.
No, I don't. I just tank damage room. It's the only thing I've got.
Gotcha. First hits for 11.
Okay.
That's location 56, and then second one on location 33. Ulrich's Fury.
Fuck me. Ain't looking so good.
19. On location 33.
Okay. I'm on 2 hit points.
All right. She her first 2 attacks. She has these claws, right? She rips into Matthias and leaves a big gaping slash wound on his arm, and then swings her staff towards Yidris. Astrid, yes. First one's a miss, even with her help. And then a second one is... It's 2 misses for Astrid. The peacock.
I would call her out, but no one talks to her for the next day, so...
Right, no one's going to say anything to her. All right. This thing darts in and attempts to attack Astrid as well. It licks Astrid.
Gross. You're not
It has like a gross, it's like a barbed tongue that lashes out.
Super into it.
Yeah, that lashes out, and Astrid, I don't have a knife. So I'll use this other one. And I need Astrid to make me a toughness roll, as well as take 13 damage to location 60.
That's 2 degrees of success.
All right.
And sorry, location 60 is body. So that's 5 wounds to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm also on 2 wounds and considered heavily wounded.
Heavily wounded. There's a roar that comes from the back of the cavern as Zalgeg and something begin to fight, and it is Matthias's turn.
And I'm going to plunge my sword like I plunged into Alero only a few days ago into the belly of the... that's the bit you didn't see on screen. That was a campfire scene that we edited from the final cut. And I gotta drop my... Oh boy, it's all canon now. I'm gonna drop a nat 20 into her. In fact, I might just roll to attack because I've got the bonus to hit.
Correct.
Yes, that's gonna do it on an 11. So that's right to her fucking head. And the damage on that is 6. Second attack is another hit, and the damage is 12.
12. All right. And that was to the head here, or no? That's the body.
Second one was to the body.
Second one's to the body. The one to the head doesn't seem to hurt her, and then the second one to the body. I need you to roll me a critical, Matthias.
Come on. Fuck. 95.
95.
Oh.
All right. You slash in, and there's a great big cut just right across her her torso. She bleeds some more, but it's not a killing blow. Astrid. There is a peacock demon thing, and this here.
And there's a sex-crazed Minotaur turned on by Eamon's buttery sent to aid the party.
Nice. All right.
Are you horny, baby?
Oh shit! Wobbit with the £50 donation, which is a game changer. Major plot point.
Nice.
A smite of Sigmar strikes the enemies of his favorite witch hunters. Thank you so much, Wobbit. Jim, that's up to your interpretation about what that does, but that's a £50 game changer.
It is a game changer there. I am going to
game changers.
Let's let Astrid go, and then we'll work out the results of game changer. And Pruitt, I'm going to pass the Minotaur to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna quick draw my great sword. And I want to use one of my crits to hit her, please.
All right.
Location 63 is the body.
Yep.
With the great sword, swing 1. For 16, and this is blessed by Eamon, so if that's still going and it's magical.
Uh-huh.
And then Swing 2 is a hit as well. And that's location 15, which is her head, and that's 17 damage.
All right. 16 and 17 damage. I need 2 crits for the Idris. Or Astrid.
Astrid.
Just keep going.
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah,
When you
it's just
That's
47.
47. I want. Good. And
Nice.
that's 4.
All
That's
right.
body and
Yeah, the first one, you split open her womb, and some kind of thing falls out of it. It's an infant covered in grayish black sludge and slightly squirming and writhing. Sherinos kind of doubles over in pain as you bring the sword down and cleave into her skull, to her shoulders. And that moment is when the divine powers that assist the party in rooting out chaos and heresy draw their power and smite your foes. The peacock demon thing bursts into flame, like these sort of golden holy fires that start licking at its feathers and flesh, and it starts screaming and shrieking as it takes damage. And then something on the other side of the room bellows and shakes the cavern walls with its scream as it is smote as well. Zalgeg's turn. You guys can't see him. Brienne. There's no enemies within sight. You would have to go hunting for whatever's back there.
Yeah, she's probably going to look back cautiously to the others because she's quite heavily wounded as well. She's just it's almost lost for words. She doesn't know whether she should scout ahead if there's any point or anything anymore. She's like,
The room appears quiet.
Find Zalgeg.
now
Zalgeg for the fight.
Aiden will. He's gonna throw his. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. We're still in initiative.
There's no enemies around, so we are out of initiative. Sorry.
Eamon's gonna run his marsh lights over to the back where Zalgeg ran off to, just to, as he kind of like slumps down and sits down on the ground.
There is a massive creature, scaled and fur, and it looks like someone took a bear and something, an amalgamation of a great many animals around here and created something monstrous out of it. And you see Zalgeg with a just profusely bleeding torso wound that he's got his left hand covering. He seems grayish and is sort of swaying on his, as he supports himself with a glaive. He stands next to the body of this creature. That's what your lights reveal. There don't appear to be anything else, or any other enemies in the cave. There is a tunnel on the far side, as well as a pit of some kind on the opposite side of where the statue is.
I'm gonna burn the witch.
Okay.
I look to Eamon. Are you okay? Eamon, looks like that witch took your arm as well.
It was worth it. It was a needed sacrifice.
I look
kind
to
pulls himself back to his feet and begins walking towards Zalgeg.
I look to Astrid with a newfound respect. That was a fine blow. Sigmar would be proud, as I'm sure would Ulrich.
It was a fine battle.
I'm gonna, as I burn her, call out, Zalgeg, are you well?
He doesn't answer.
And yeah, I mean, Eamon heads over to him, and once he gets there, Zalgeg, and he'll kind of let his staff drop and reach out with his hand to his shoulder.
He snaps out of it. Eamon, where are your clothes?
They could not withstand the torrent of magic around us.
Oh,
I am a caster, you know, so kind of my.
I'd forgotten. Yes. And he kind of like and just coughs up blood.
Are you well? Can you travel?
Oh. Yeah. And he takes a couple of shambling steps forward before almost collapsing.
Eamon will use his staff and kind of hold it out for Zalgeg to help him.
Brienne will probably walk over at this point, seeing a one-armed man trying to hold up a very injured man, and sort of almost offer an arm to Zalgeg, or just like hold him upright.
Mm-hmm.
One day
He is
Zalgeg,
not long for this role.
You will fulfill your oath one day. You are one of the mightiest warriors I've seen.
He looks at you, and just like something in his eyes tells you that he's like, I didn't get that one. Not done here yet. And he just like kind of stands to his feet and is sort of swaying, but insists that he has fight left in him.
I'd have more of them. Do you see others?
No others. Something got this one. But he doesn't see anything else.
He works
Matthias
with
is
us
burning.
yet. Yeah, I burn the witch.
Okay.
Before I do, I'll check for any anything on her, like notes or I don't know, a book, something which maybe tells us more about what's going on.
Let's see here. You see a lot of like what you assume to be magical focuses and sort of spell components and the like. There's not really anything written on her, and she seems to be almost really just like some necklaces and bracelets and things.
I burn it all.
Really kind of good. Yeah.
I throw
What
it in a
about
sex
the
pile and burn it all.
what about the creature that spilled out of her womb?
Oh, that's burning too. Yeah, whatever
Okay.
that fucking
yeah.
thing was, that's definitely burning.
Who picks it up? That's the wrong guy.
I gotta kick it. I'm gonna kick it across the floor.
I could
I
like
wanna
impale it on
touch
the
it.
end of my sword and like dump it in the fire.
Sure.
Sure. It screams as you impale it and put it on, and you can.
Oh, beast.
It seems more than an infant as you throw it on the fire.
And like as the blade catches the light, we get that reflection of its mother's face. Like just hopefully in Hellfire, that'd be really nice, but just to tie into that wild magic surge.
And Zalgeg's wild magic is that his face begins to look more and more bat-like. More and more like a bat. And anyone wielding a sword nearby loses 1d4 fingers for 1d4 weeks.
Excuse you, wild magic surge.
Is anybody holding their sword right now?
Yes.
Probably,
Yeah.
to be honest, probably.
Probably
Astrid
still. All right. Let's roll some d4s.
Both lose 3 fingers.
3 fingers for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks.
Yay. 3 weeks for me. 3 for free.
All right. I'm gonna. It's Like, I think he could probably still use a two-handed weapon with some fingers, but maybe not the sword. Like, I don't think that Matthias can go about two-weapon wielding anymore.
Sure.
Sword or pistol, as whichever hand it is. 3 fingers disappear.
Okay, I just hold the sword then.
Just like
No.
scream as they like, are they like cut off in the
They
fight?
like dissolve off. They just kind of like wither away and dissolve off, like much like Eamon's limb.
The sword is dropped in horror, and the witch's face is screaming out. It's just, ugh.
Yeah, the demon child
Last
screams for a bit longer before it dies down.
If that is
There's
the
a
price
pit.
we have to pay for her being dead, then so be it. Yeah, I'll go look in the pit.
Okay. The pit is in shadows. Does Matthias has his torch?
Drop a torch into it, yeah.
All right. There's something else down there, about 20 feet down. A writhing, fleshy blob of limbs and faces that Matthias recognizes. He sees Nora and Yidris's faces in the flames as this just massive spawn, this massive fleshy blob catches on fire and screams.
I turn towards the group as I burn them.
Matthias, what is it?
Idris and Nora. Something that looked like them in there. No longer.
Chaos
I
has
fear
the
for our
power
friends.
to... Chaos has the power to deceive. You know this, Matthias. Just
Agreed,
play
I
no
have
your
seen.
fears.
I have seen such things before. It's not the first time they have tried to use our weaknesses, our friends. The skull of Valero appeared only earlier. Switch, her tricks will not fall upon me anymore. She is gone. We should search, see if there are any stragglers, or anything left behind, any heretical texts or artifacts that we must destroy.
Okay. There
And
are
just
How
take
many
a
more?
quick
a
scan.
great many of those things about.
Mm-hmm.
How many more leaders in this ritual that you spoke of?
Just one more, right?
Only your kin remains, Matthias.
Yes, there is but one who still stands. Yes. My brother, Otto. He has been warped by chaos, twisted by it, and he is the one that leads them. He is the last thing that stands between us and salvation for this land. We must find him. Bring him to justice. If it is the last thing that I do.
Well, Matthias, I believe we should find a place to rest. Or this will be the last thing that we all do.
Let us burn this place and take camp in the caves above. And I just want to burn all the shit down here, like
Okay.
anything that looks like it could burn.
Mhm.
We will burn, and then
More.
take a camp up in the caves above so that we can rest and be less dead.
Okay. Back up through where you were into that cave that's kind of in the opening of the cliffside. All right. Give me an idea of how you secure the place so that you can spend some time resting there.
I look at Eamon and kind of remembering now after the fight and all the blood loss and being bandaged up, remembering now what's like afflicted him. Eamon, how goes the curse?
And as you find Eamon, you see him kind of sitting next to maybe like a pool of water, like looking over it, kind of looking at his reflection, his right hand just kind of fingers writhing as he's looking at it, and then looking at his now arm, or lack of arm. I believe that this place will leave a mark on me for the rest of my days, Matthias. I am not sure that I can reverse this.
Would you have me take them, then?
I think that I have been crippled enough for the time being. Perhaps we can revisit this subject once the land has been saved, so that I may help in all of my faculties as a caster.
Very well. Perhaps after this is done, we'll readdress the matter. For now, we need you.
Yes. There's always more work to be done.
One more fight at least.
At the very least.
Go back to bandaging myself up.
Bandage yourself up. About Astrid and Brienne.
Astrid will visit Brienne to speak to her. You did very well. How do you fare after your first battle?
I froze, and she's sort of still looking quite pale and in shock. Everything she did, she went, I never miss, and I missed.
We all miss occasion. It is important that you are alive to take the next shot, which you will not miss. You did well.
And
You did well.
you can see she's just not happy with herself about it, and she nods and she sort of goes around as if there's like a perimeter of the camp, she's just quite stealthily just walking around it and keeping an eye out.
Mm-hmm.
Brienne will take the watch tonight.
I will.
Astrid's just going to announce to everyone this is what's happening.
All right.
Also, I will need my armor. And our horses. We left them out in the open. We should probably retrieve those two.
Mm-hmm. Very well. On the trek back to the horses, I'll dip into my hip flask and hand it to Astrid and say, perhaps I have been a little unkind, or perhaps too fervent in my hatred for my brother. It has clouded many things. I've lost many friends in the past few days. Forgive me.
Chaos has its effects on us all. Of course, Matthias. We are old friends and old enemies. There is nothing to do.
Good.
There is only the war. That is all that there will ever be.
True enough.
So as Matthias and Astrid walk off to get the horses and the rest of Astrid's armor, and Brienne is securing the camp, keeping an eye out on the perimeter. There's really just two that you could. There's the cave entrance, which leads to the water curtain and the path, and then the tunnel that leads down into the caves that you have to keep an eye on. And then Eamon contemplates his new condition. Let's see next week what happens to our band of roughed up witch hunters as they face down the last of the trio of witches.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
my friends.
Wow.
boy. We made it out somehow against all the odds. And now there is just, 2 episodes left in the season? So next episode is penultimate, and then after that it's our season finale. So, whew, get ready for it, my friends. If you enjoyed the show, let us know. If you haven't followed the show yet, hit the follow button and join us. And of course, be sure to join in the Encounter Roleplay Discords to play games with us and to talk about all the crazy shows that have been happening over the course of this week. There isn't actually a Star Wars show tonight because everyone's over at Gen Con, but that's alright, as we've had a pretty intense episode of Call of Cthulhu and Warhammer here today. So let's go around the cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Let's start with Jim. Great job tonight.
Thank you. I'm having a great time. I'm glad that we started off at such a second career and are now like in solidly third career because you guys keep getting roughed up. It was a great fight. I'm speechless right now. I'm ready for to see how this ends. So yeah, having a blast. Excellent. I am other half of WebDM. You can find us on YouTube on Wednesdays. We're here on Twitch on usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, not this week, as well as Sundays for RPGN. So come check us out there. And yeah, there you go.
Great stuff. And Pruitt, Eamon, ripping the arm.
Let me tell you, this and the last, it's a tale of two adventurers. And you finally get to see why casting in Warhammer is so fucking deadly. There are no spell slots. There's nothing to keep you from casting spells all day, except for what happened to my character today. Yeah, Eamon's just went through a rough patch. He's like reassessing his whole life right now, sitting there with one arm and and tentacle fingers on the other hand. But good God, I love this game. It is so freaking cool. I mean, where can you have something like this and in your role playing other than Warhammer Fantasy? So I can't wait to see what happens in these last 2 episodes. And I am Pruitt, the other half of WebDM. I can't wait till we get back to this next week.
Great stuff. And Charlie.
What a session! I like how I came into this, everyone was like, don't fight in Warhammer. Don't fight in Warhammer. Find a way around the fight. And I'm like, yeah, that worked out well. That was a good plan. I had a great time, as always. I love this team. I love the Chaos Chorus. Wednesdays are the best. Yeah. I'm just, I'm still processing everything that just happened. Pretty beat up, so I'm really hoping we magically bump into Melinda or someone similar very soon. But yeah, no, I had a great time. I am around tomorrow on Scraticus's channel for Kiana's Birthday Bash charity stream, which is like a 6-hour stream. I think it starts at noon EST. I'm on at 6 EST playing Honey Heist for the first time, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, and then I'm back here on Wednesdays for Warhammer.
Awesome.
Is Wednesday yet? Huh?
Yeah! We get Gareth back with us next week as well, actually. So Rat will be back to join in the action next week.
Nice.
If you've missed
Awesome.
Rat, go and see. No, don't DM him. Tweet him. Go and tweet. I think it's Scarred Star, something like that. I'm sure Will has the.
Hey,
handle.
Scarred
Go and
underscore
tweet at
star.
him.
Yeah.
Tell him that we miss him.
There you go. Tweet at him there. Wrong link. There you go. Great stuff. Yes, and a special thank you to Sigma himself, aka Wobbit, for saving our asses there. Right. Last but not least, Alice.
Yeah, again, still sort of processing it. So many limbs were lost this session. I think that's like a new record for us. Yeah, I loved it. I really love this game. It's so dark, but yeah, again, you're not supposed to fight in this game. Well, you're supposed to avoid fighting where you can, and I'm pretty sure that's all we've done most of the time. I'm surprised we're all still alive. I am White Rabbit Pick. I am the other half of Scraticus. Tomorrow evening, I'll be playing with Charlie tomorrow night in the Honey Heist, which will also be my first go at it. And then I'm finally taking the DM's seat again on Friday, I think, over on Scratch Channel. So other than that, I just can't wait for next week already. So yeah.
Yeah, cannot wait. Looking forward to it. Well, my friends, we are back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday? Yeah, it is. 1 p.m. Eastern for City of Mist. And that's all we're doing tomorrow, actually. Just City of Mist at 1 p.m. Eastern. A little bit of a reduced schedule this week, thanks to Gen Con and people deciding to be bad friends and not changing their life plans for me, which I really don't appreciate. And Gareth, obviously, really disrespectful that he would ever take a holiday. That bastard. Not about it. But tomorrow for that, we're going to go and host and raid our wonderful friend, Madame Gandalf. She's fucking awesome. Go and enjoy her stream. Until next time, my friends, try not to try too many nat ones. We want to be losing limbs when you do. Good night. Bye.